welcome you to Clarksville, Tennessee, where today on the campus of Austin Peay State University, it's homecoming day, and the nationally ranked Govs are looking to bounce back after a loss at Eastern Kentucky 2 weeks ago. They will welcome in their rivals from down south. The Lions of North Alabama come in after a big win for their homecoming a week ago, as we have a huge matchup today in the United Athletic Conference here on ESPN+. We welcome you to Fort Terrace Stadium. Barry Gresham alongside Ethan Schmidt. Sneaky good game today because UNA really turned it around a week ago. They blew out Eastern Kentucky at home in their homecoming.
Yeah, absolutely. And, of course, Austin Peay, the last game they had, they're coming off a bye. But before that, they lost on the road at Richmond. So this is one of those games, if you're North Alabama, you said, hey, we've beaten a team that they've lost to. We can't let them scare us into this one. We got to be ready to play.
So the Govs looking to bounce back today as we look at these two teams. The comparison going into it, you've got a really good rushing attack by these Lions of UNA, but you've got the #1 rushing defense at Austin Peay. We'll see who wins out there.
Absolutely, and passing yards, a big difference here. Austin Peay, they have a trusted, pure passer in Chris Parsons. I know we're going to talk about him in a second. That's a big part of their game is that big play mentality, Barry.
Let's get into the series history between these two teams. It goes all the way back to 1949. North Alabama with the series lead 13-9. Since they moved to FCS, it's been all Austin Peay. The Govs have won the last 3 in this series. You mentioned it. Let's talk about the two signal callers. They have a little history as they're both from the Middle Tennessee area. And we're going to start with the Lions quarterback, Destin Wade.
Yeah, Destin Wade's one of those guys where he gets in here and he's more of that field general, right? He's got a really good running back he can hand off to, and he knows that. So he doesn't always have to be that guy that steps back and pass, and he can actually kind of work his offense around him in that sense of the game. So he's going to be more of that field commander type guy. On the other side of that, you have a guy by the name of Chris Parsons who can be everything for Austin Peay's offense, whether it's a rushing attack, passing attack, whatever it is. Chris Parsons is a big play athlete every single time he steps on the field.
Here's that quarterback comparison as we will see Destin Wade make his 5th start in his collegiate career. His first start was for the University of Kentucky in the Music City Bowl back in 2022. And there's Chris Parsons, outstanding player at Mississippi State, transferring into Austin Peay. Our keys to the game today brought to you by Matthews Nissan.
Yeah, absolutely, Barry. Some of the big keys here today for North Alabama. Can you get pressure on Chris Parsons? Can you make him make mistakes? Also, don't allow the big plays. Hey, Austin Peay, they love momentum on their side here in the fort. They'll get some big plays going. As for Austin Peay, force this team to pass. You saw the difference in passing numbers here. They want to run the rock if it's North Alabama. And also for Austin Peay, it's mistake-free football. They cannot allow any of those big plays to happen on special teams from the Lions, and they also have to make sure they take care of the rock themselves.
We are ready for kickoff. Ian Vachon will put the toe to it. Javius Bond is back. He calls for the fair catch. He'll make it at the 6-yard line. And Austin Peay will come out on offense first. Good to see Bond back, as he did not play 2 weeks ago. Got injured in practice. He did dress against Eastern Kentucky, but did not appear in the lineup. So it is great to have him back for the Govs today. He's a game-breaking type player, as we'll see the Austin Peay offense come out, led by Chris Parsons, the redshirt sophomore out of Brentwood, Tennessee. That line up front has been banged up this year with Zach Bowden again out today. It's been Eli Sutton at left tackle, Seydou Ba at left guard, Chandler Curtin at center, Nick Hilliard the right guard, and Joshua Sales, who started the year at left tackle, has been moved to right tackle. So they've been shifting around this year due to the injuries, and the Govs are going to start on the ground, and a quick hit. Cortland Simmons in the backfield, he's brought down.
Tango McCauley Jr., the big man, came in, transferred a former Golden Norseman from NEO A&M out in Oklahoma. He's making his presence felt early here, Barry. That was a big hit and a loss of 1 for the Govs.
So this Austin Peay offense this year, 2nd in the conference, about 444 yards of offense per game, one of the best in the country. They will keep it on the ground on 2nd down, and a nice gain out to the 31. As Cortland Simmons out of Davidson Academy in Madison, Tennessee. Cortland scored 4 touchdowns this year, 3 on the ground, 1 in the air.
Early, this is going to be a big big third down here. Govs need to convert this one. They want to try to get this first down here. You hate to stall that opening possession, especially when the other team said, hey, we're going to give you the ball to start here so we can get it after the half. So you have to make sure this is one of those drives that leads to points early in this game. If you're the Govs, huge third down.
3rd and 4 from the 31. It's Kirk who comes in motion. Austin Peay 4-0 in the red jerseys this year. They're unbeaten at home, 3-0. Parson all day to pick out a receiver, and he's going to have to tuck it and go. He had guys open. He still keeps the play alive, reverses field, throws, and it goes incomplete. He tried to get it back to Simmons, who was coming back to help out his quarterback. Looked like that time, Ethan, he had several guys open, just could not make up his mind, and ended with a tough throw back across the field.
Yeah, absolutely. It looked like he was overthinking this one a little bit. But I have to give hats off here to the offensive line, Barry. This is hard for an offensive line not to do something like a holding or getting downfield or an illegal block. They do a fantastic job of staying in front of these Lions players, not hitting them, and not forcing this into an even worse position for them. Again, they're going to have to go into the punt formation here, but still, it could have been a lot worse. They could have been backed up there, repeating third down with a lot to go.
So 3 and out for this Austin Peay offense. Gavin Myers with the punt. It'll take a nice Austin Peay bounce. As a good return man, Justin Piggies will get away from it. It'll roll to the 25, and we'll see the UNA offense come out. Their head coach, Brent Dearman, offensive guru, the author of The Evolution of the RPO, and he's got a good RPO quarterback in Destin Wade, who will make his 4th start this year for the Lions. The transfer from Kentucky and played at Colorado a year ago. He rushed for 109 yards last week in their big win over Eastern Kentucky. He will open up, showing an empty set. Now it's Juice, as he's called. Javian Allen, their top running back, will be in the backfield, and Allen will get the first touch, and not much happening against this big front of this Austin Peay defense. And this Govs defense against the rush, they are #1 in the conference. They are 9th in the nation.
That was Montrez Smith Jr. Some big news for Montrez Smith. Named to the Jerry Rice Award watch list, a redshirt freshman here. He's continued to get better and better each week as a Governor, Barry.
They're going to give him maybe a yard. We'll call it 2nd and 9. Stay on the ground. Now he's going to keep it. Wade will. Looked like he was going to do the pitch. Instead, he decides to keep it. Scampers out to the 33. And again, Wade rushed it 21 times a week ago for those 109 yards, average about 5 yards per carry.
Wait, Barry, people run the triple option?
Yeah.
That was the beauty of a play. That's why you picked it up. There was a couple options for Wade to go there. He makes the good decision by holding on to it. But you got a triple, almost 4 receivers with a triple stack there.
He's going to throw it here to Piggies. He gets a great block. He'll get the first down and more. Makes a man miss. And he carries it down to the 33-yard line. Big play receiver Justin Piggies, as he gets another catch on the year, his 34th on the season. This was designed very well.
Yeah, no one came over to blow this up for Austin Peay. When that happens, Piggies has a chance to run. I do think North Alabama may have got away with a little bit of a block to the back there. However, it was a very well-designed play to get some of those big guys out there blocking.
34 yards in the air. He's going to go back to the air. He's got a receiver open. He'll overthrow him. He tried to get it down to KJ Fields, who's got a couple of touchdown catches on the year out of Huntsville. That time a little too much, but he was there.
Yeah, absolutely. Had him beat. And that's rare with this Governor's defensive group there, Barry. That secondary rarely gets beat on a long ball. They're usually pretty much in position at all times. But I think it's just that big play that happened, then quickly back up there. The Govs were still trying to call out defensively what they wanted to do.
Govs missing a few defenders today. Miles Wiley, the starting free safety, is out. TJ Cox with 3 sacks on the year on the defensive line is out. Here's Juice, Javian Allen. He'll get the carry to the 26-yard line. He's averaging about 6 yards per carry on the season, 7 touchdowns for him. He's the reigning offensive player of the week, just under 100 yards a week ago, but 3 touchdowns against the Colonels.
Yeah, and that was just a well-designed, empty the backfield out, call jet, bring your running back over and make sure that you're running to the side of the field that's technically the weak side in that moment. They get some good yardage there.
Going to call it 3rd and 6. Weird formation.
Swinging gate on offense.
The old
here.
Swinging gate, and Wade will take it, go to his left, throw quickly, and airmailed one. Not on the same page as he tried to get it out to Piggies. I haven't seen that one this year. Sometimes you can try a little too much. On Friday nights, yeah.
It's a big thing that we like to pull at in another school in this area wearing purple and gold. But definitely something you don't rarely see on offense. Normally it's a special teams type play, but they moved all the linemen to the right. You're thinking, hey, they're going to throw to the right. Good job by the center, though, to pick up on a fast linebacker to make sure that didn't go down as a bad type of special teams play or special design play, if you will.
46-yard attempt for Ian Vachon. He's missed a couple this year. Has plenty of leg. The drive with this one, he'll miss it. So the Lions are going to come up empty after a very promising first possession. They got a 3-and-out defense. They marched it into Gov territory, but they'll miss the field goal by Vachon. That'll lead us to break. We'll come back for more of Homecoming here on ESPN+. Welcome you back to Forterra Stadium. We are thrilled to have a special guest with us today. Let's send it down to the sideline and visit with Kendra Sheehan.
Hey, thanks, Barry. There's a bit of rivalry and a lot of history between the QB1s tonight. Both are Tennessee natives and both dueled it out in high school. UNA's Destin Wade went to Summit High and Gov's QB Chris Parson went to Ravenwood. Now, Wade is 2-0 against Parson in high school, and I spoke with both signal callers who had the utmost respect for each other's games, but for Chris Parson, there's a little extra motivation tonight. He said, we've been game planning for Wade all week, and he's hoping to flip that script and get into the win column against his rival. Guys.
Great to have Kendra with us. She's been all over this conference this season. And seeing Austin Peay for the third time this year, maybe the third time's a charm, as she's been a part of the 2 road losses. She's here for the home game today, getting a chance to see the Govs, who are unbeaten at home this season. Second series for Austin Peay and Caden Williams, who got his first career start in their last game against EKU. Will get a catch for the Govs, a nice pickup on first down.
Yeah, Kendra was telling us earlier that Coach Ferris was like, hey, I don't know if I can talk to you pre-game here. Of course, jokingly, but, you know, as a coach, there's always superstitions, and sometimes you got to get in there. You want your team to win. You want to be successful. But like you mentioned, Barry, we're happy to have her here. She said it was her first time in Clarksville as well this week.
Govs will complete one out. Looks like Garnett. Nate Garnett, who's been the deep threat. We've been waiting for one of those big-time connections, but he shows the blazing speed in the run after the catch. Back-to-back first downs on short passes.
And this is what I like from Austin Peay. This is what they can do very well. They have a really good group of tight ends, Barry. That's the big thing, right? You have Pell, you have a couple of these guys that can get out there and block for you. So swing it out to some of these faster receivers. The deep ball is going to open up. We know you can get the ball to Robinson and company. It's just getting that that again, your footing set first.
Little play action to Bond. And Parsons going to throw. He's got a man open. Kamari Maxwell makes the catch, and he's brought down at the 14-yard line. Kamari, the one-time winner of the Freshman of the Week, gets his 15th catch of the year, and the Govs are opening it up.
What a beautifully designed play. You have Robinson, who has a lot of attention on his play, and you just bring Maxwell over. It's just a little post route here, and he gets wide open. No one figures out where number 12 is. You mentioned this before. He says, put some respect on my name. I'm a former Freshman of the Week. Let's go. Give me the ball. I know what I can do on this field. I've done it before at home. He shows up a big play there, and again, this is something that Austin Peay does really well, Barry, those big momentum plays. 39
yards on the pickup that time. They stay on the ground. It's Bond. Javius diving forward as he gets to the 1. Great to see him back in that Govs uniform after he was out 2 weeks ago with that great burst of speed. Govs are going to go quickly with tempo as they push it down close to the goal line. Parson wants to throw, singled up. We're going to get a flag thrown as it is Maxwell as he's tangled up with Jermaine Ray. Flag came out quickly. Man, it looks like maybe the false start. We'll get a call, the first one of the day from our referee, Chris Bryson.
Well, you were right on the call. Chance to hear it there, but sometimes when you're a receiver, you get that little lean and rock as you try to get going. I know you're the furthest person out, and coach tells you to keep your eye on the ball out there, but you know the snap count, so you just want to get going, and he knew the route was one-on-one here.
Govs are going to go empty. They spread them out. Robinson, 81 at the bottom of your screen with Bond, has caught 5 touchdowns, 3 of them here in this stadium. Parson all day to throw. He just stared him down and rifled one into Kirk, who gets the touchdown. Parson, I tell you, all day to pick out a receiver. Shamar was like, please, throw me the football.
Well, they go empty set there, and they have a really good job to find somebody wide open, but hats off, credit off to that offensive line. You talked about having a plug in place here, right, as injuries come along. That was a beautiful job to give Chris all the time he needed, and then you mentioned, right, he scanned the whole field.
Yeah.
Kirk's his 5th option. He comes back to him and says, oh, my buddy's open. Let me swing it there to him. But a good catch there and a good job by Kirk to make sure he fell into the red, into the end zone.
4 touchdown catch of the year for Kirk as Carson Smith will bang the PAT through. 12 touchdown pass for Chris Parson, and just like that, the Govs march down the field and they take the early lead here on homecoming. Austin Peay out in front, 7-0 here on ESPN+.
From the start of an Austin Peay student's journey, they expect more. They expect to gain real-world experiences to set them apart. They expect to learn with state-of-the-art tools and facilities. So we give it to them. So when our graduates look back, they'll see it all starts at Austin Peay.
I feel like USA football is grit, determination, and fight because we got a lot of great teams in our conference.
I believe that there's guys all in this conference who can go play at the next level.
USC football is big-time football. A lot of great teams, a lot of good competition.
It's the most competitive conference, I think, in FCS football, and it's home to me.
It's competitive, it's exciting, it's a league to watch.
Anybody can win on any given week, so you better come prepared.
UAC football is nothing but competition. Endless fights, endless battles, endless wins, losses.
I think it's one of the top, if not the top, FCS football conference in the nation.
UAC football, to me, means rivalries and games every single year, multiple games that I circle on the calendar that I know are going to be so much fun because it's always nitty and gritty with them.
You're gonna love Matthews Nissan. Listen to our customers.
My family loves Matthews Nissan. Over the past 3 years, we've purchased 10 vehicles. From the moment I walked in the door here, I always felt like I was part of the family. I've always been treated so well by everyone. At Matthews Nissan, you feel like family. They're very professional and there's no pressure. I've shopped around and I know I've saved a good bit of money in my times coming to Matthews Nissan.
Matthews Nissan, where your satisfaction is our #1 priority.
Well, Austin Peay goes 72 yards in 5 plays. Chris Parson hooks up with Shamar Kirk, and the Govs take a 7-0 lead here to start the homecoming game. Last time out, these two teams played the same team. 2 weeks ago, Austin Peay with an upset in Richmond to EKU, and then last week UNA, there was a no-doubter. They hammered EKU.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, like I mentioned that pregame, Barry, it's one of those things when you look at the schedule for North Alabama, they've only had 2 wins on the season. The first one came against Division II Northeastern State. Then they turn around, they get a big win over Eastern Kentucky, and you come into this game thinking like, hey, we can hang with this Governor's team. Don't let the rank fool you. We have a chance.
UNA's going to run it out. As we see Justin Luke with the return for the Lions. And now the second time to see UNA's offense. Austin Peay sputtered the first time at 3 and out. Then they made it look so easy on the last series. Meanwhile, the first time UNA marched it down the field. Ended up with a 46-yard field goal miss as we look at 2 big-time impact players for UNA.
Yeah, we've seen both of them already in action, right? We saw the Juice there for a little bit. He had a couple big runs, and then, of course, Piggy's had that beautiful little pitch and catch off that great design to get him blocked open. So 2 guys that can actually make this offense go, and we're seeing Juice right here. Really good job of just kind of following his blockers and then cutting it back up into a lane. Again, number 6, he's a tough guy. You can tell he likes to run the football. He's going to make sure he keeps running this one downfield, and he wants to be physical. He wants that contact.
Nice pickup on first down. He was a transfer from Tennessee Tech when he was a Golden Eagle. He was a defensive back, so converted to running back at UNA, and that certainly has paid off. Throw it out, it's incomplete. Trying to get Jalen Daniels, J.D. Daniels, as he goes by. A little too high for him, incomplete. And it's going to bring up 3rd down for this Lions offense.
Yeah, that was just one of those passes where he goes way too far over his head. And now you have to put back that offensive unit that can get you some yards. You bring back out your top running back and a couple of these tight ends in here as well to try to maybe spring one of these screens or something like that open for your fast receivers that you have out there.
Pulling on the field of an incomplete pass is under further review.
All right, so we will have our first review of the day. Chris Bryson is our referee, as we will await the verdict here before a 3rd and 3 play, as Austin Peay has jumped out on top with another Parson touchdown pass. His 12th of the year. Shamar Kirk caught it, his 4th touchdown receiving.
Well, if it's a backwards pass, right, that's what they're looking at. So if it was behind the quarterback to the running back, then the reason why we're looking at this is because it would technically be a fumble, right? So then you would back the ball up is what we're looking at. So I think they might have a case here that one goes out there. So what that would end up doing is pushing this offense back. You almost need one right down the line to see it. That could be huge. That could push this back. You're looking at right now 3rd and short. It's where you want to be at, but if that ends up being behind the running back, then you're looking at what could be a 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, backed up, behind the 25 here. I mean, that's huge. It'd push them back behind the 20 again if that's a lateral pass that goes behind the running back. So, I mean, this could be a huge momentum shift. And I talked about this early, Barry, right? Momentum in the stadium has been big for Austin Peay.
After review, it's been determined that the pass was backwards and went out of bounds at the 15.5-yard line. It'll be 3rd down.
Okay, so they're going to – the ball was actually up to the 22, 23, so that is a huge swing in yardage on that call, so they got it right. Nice job by the crew to take a look at that. So that 3rd and manageable, not quite 3rd and a mile, but 3rd and 11 is much better for Austin Peay defensively than that 3rd and 3.
Yeah, and that changes your whole play call that you just sent out with your team.
Caleb Heatherly, the tight end, who caught a touchdown a week ago against EKU. He will stay in to block. Wade looking all the way here, bottom of the screen. He goes up, a lot of contact. Here's the flag. Raylan Manley singled up with KJ Fields. A lot of hand fighting. And a
pass
penalty.
Interference, defense, automatic, first down.
They'll get Manley for that one. So the first down will come via the penalty.
Yeah, and it's just because Manley, you'll see this, he gets all into his jersey here. I mean, that's the big thing, right? He's behind him there and just kind of gets that shove forward. I know Manley's thinking, hey, it was pretty high up in the sky. I probably had the better angle on it, but from our angle, Barry, I saw the hand of the jersey and the push that he gave on him. So I mean, that's a big penalty right there on 3rd and 11. You had a chance to force the punting unit to come out.
Piggy's in motion, and he will get the handoff as he's bumped out of bounds on that Austin Peay sideline. So he'll get up to about the 34-yard line. He's got great speed. He's a guy that Coach Dearman recruited him back when he was in high school 4 years ago and finally got him the transfer from Bowling Green. And he can do so many things like Javius Bond. He's so good in the return game, a good receiver, and you can run him so many times on these jet sweeps, end arounds, and he can take nothing and turn it into something. 2nd and 6 after the 4-yard, keeping it on the ground. The stout defensive unit, Austin Peay teams have.
Yeah, Kendall Ball, that's a great play, and it's a good job by this defense to make sure that they stay with the running back. They're seeing where the handoff's going. I will say this much, though, they have to be careful not to just give up everything to think that this is going to go to juice. They have to keep Wade in their sights as well. He's pretty good. We've seen him break a couple big runs here. They have to make sure they keep an eye on him in case he pulls.
Again, Wade with that huge day with his legs. A week ago, he's going to keep it here. And he's wrapped up and brought down. Nice tackle. Trevor Hardy comes up from strong safety, will make the stop, bring up 4th down after Wade will get it to the 36-yard line. And the Lions will have to punt it away. So very promising first series for them. It was a missed field goal. Vashon tried one from 46. And this time the Govs survive a penalty, which led to the 1 first down. They'll get the stop. And here's Bond back to return punts. Govs are number 1 in the UAC punt return average thanks to this man. Watford will punt it away. Gets it high, and Bond gets belted right as he makes the catch. Javius didn't make that fair catch call. He was going to see if he could make a man miss, but beautiful hang time by Watford, which led to Bond not able to go anywhere. So the Govs are going to get it right back. They lead 7-0 here from Clarksville. It is homecoming day, beautiful day. A little cloudy, which we'll certainly take that with how tough it is with the sun in this stadium. And the Govs out to a homecoming lead of 7-0 here on UNA. Impact players, two guys that can really be big game changers.
Yeah, absolutely. Cortland Simmons is a guy that's a big game change type guy. Was a touchdown against EKU, but he's 172 yards on the ground, 256 yards receiving. He's one of those guys that can make a big play happen at any point. And of course, how about our guy Jaden Robinson? He's a touchdown magnet when you get inside that red zone. Within the 10, you might as well bring everybody to try to guard him, but you still can't.
Parsons going to call his own number on this one. A lot of movement in the backfield with Nate Garnett Jr. back there. Chris Parson this year, rushing-wise, coming into play today over 300 yards, averaging about 3.5 yards per carry. 7 big rushing touchdowns, as he is third in the conference as a quarterback with 7 of those rushing scores. They're going to say no gains, so 2nd and 10 for Parson. And the Govs trying to stay unbeaten at home. They had so many tough games a year ago. They'll keep it on the ground. They'll bring Caden Williams, the running back. He gets belted by this UNA defense that's getting better and better each week. Seth Hampton with the stop. Last year, he had his career high, had 8 tackles in the game against Austin Peay.
Yeah, it was a great job by Seth Hampton to get in there and just make that stop on Austin Peay. They were trying to get a little trickery. They were trying to get that end around with Caden Williams, but now you set yourself up 3rd and 11. This looks like that first drive where the Govs just stalled, kind of going away from what got them down on the last drive.
Parson will clap his hands. They come after him. He has to get out there, and he lost the handle. The ball bounces, and it gets out of bounds.
The rolling on the field is a backwards fumble out of bounds. It'll be 4th down.
He just lost that one. We'll get a look at it here.
Well, the pressure was on immediately. You can see number 5, that's Robinson, just chasing him down, and just, again, you let a free blitz go. This was one of my keys for this North Alabama team. Can you pressure Parsons? Because he is a big part of what happens for Austin Peay, whether it's passing or running. But you see, he can make mistakes. He's not just out here Mr. Perfect every time. He does have some of those tendencies to make some mistakes. That was one of them there, just trying to run the ball and losing it.
Logan Lefrick will punt this time. And Piggies will take it on the fair catch call at the 44. Is where the UNA Lions come back. That's strange. We see possession 1, a 3 and out. They go right down the field in chunk plays. The 2nd series, 3rd series looks just like the first one.
Yeah, again, it was very reminiscent of that first drive there for Austin Peay. And now if you're North Alabama, your best drive came after a Governor's 3 and out. You missed the field goal, but here's an opportunity for you to try to finally get into the end zone or at least pick up some points here as we go under 4 minutes remaining in the first.
Well, Destin Wade said they had 2 great practices to start the week, coming off that big win at home for their homecoming against EKU. LT Sanders will get the carry, the transfer from Western Kentucky. And this is a confident team. That was a much-needed win, and Destin Wade went to his head coach and he said, I'm your man the rest of the way. I'm ready to take this team on, put them on my shoulders, and they played so well for him a week ago, but it was complimentary football. The defense was able to rise up. EKU could get nothing going, and now they're in this 3rd down situation again where Austin Peay's defense has been so good.
Timeout on the field for a defensive injured player.
Looks like the Govs have an injured player on the field. Al Sandifer is down. Al part of that rotation up front on this very good defensive line, and Al a transfer also from Western Kentucky.
Yeah, I think he was just kind of rolled up in there with the rest of those big guys and fighting. You could see him right there underneath the pile, and you know, it's a thankless job being an offensive lineman, defensive lineman. I mean, those are the guys, they're not always getting all the love, you know, when it comes down to it. And you know, you get those big guys and they get rolled up on, and You got your linebackers coming in, pushing from behind on you,
Yeah.
or you got an offensive lineman falling on you. I mean, it's definitely a thankless job, but I mean, those guys are always very fundamentally big as we see our tackles moving out here on the outside.
It's another strange formation on this 3rd and short. Wade will keep it. He needs 4. He's trying to keep the legs moving and lunge forward. Needed to get up to the 45. And he's going to come up short to bring up 4th down. 4th and short at this point on the field, and you're down 7-0. I think Coach Dearman's going to roll the dice. They are 5 for 15 this year on 4th down. 4th and short. And Wade is in the shotgun. Piggies gets it. Can he make a man miss? Gets belted right at the line to gain. I think his forward progress will get him. Yes, the sticks will move.
Yeah, that one was almost dead in the backfield. It's just the elusiveness of number 0 to get open like that. And then once he gets contact on him, watch this, Barry, he just gets past that. That's a great job by Austin Peay defensively. You see that the first person in there, that's Price who almost has him, and he just is able to fight up in there and get more yardage afterwards after he makes the first man miss. 2nd,
3rd down conversion for this UNA offense. Piggy's again in motion. He does that a lot. A flag comes out as they will keep it on the ground to LT Sanders at 5'10", 205. Is Sanders part of their 3-headed backfield?
Illegal formation, more than 4 players in the backfield. It's offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay 1st down.
That could just be your tackle not being on the line correctly there, Barry, or the tight end. I didn't see exactly who it was, but again, you get some of those times where you stand next to the tackle and you think you're good if you're the tight end, but you realize you're a little bit too far back. And it did come from the side official, so I'm wondering it must have been maybe that right tackle who's just stepped a little bit, maybe a step back and not on the belt line there of the center.
First penalty of the day on UNA. The Govs have committed 2. Tanaka Scott and Piggies, top of your screen. They switch spots. Wade's looking that way where the 3 receivers are at, and he just a little too much for Justin Piggies. So now 2nd and long after that penalty. You get behind the sticks, back at midfield. Kind of takes you out of your rhythm offensively, the way you want to play call.
Hats off to Will Middleton on that coverage there, Barry. Talk about being the middle linebacker, having to guard a shifty little slot guy there. That's not a fun task to have.
Good luck. Wade rifles one right to a defender. Austin Peay's going to get the pick. Either the receiver cut his route off, but Austin Peay's going to get it. Rishi Rattan. Last time we were here, he scooped up a block PAT by Ellis Ellis, and he took it to the house. This one was thrown right between the 2 and the 6.
Rattan, the man. Watch him drop back here. And really, I don't even know if it's the wrong route. I think it's just the fact that your quarterback stared down his receiver the entire time. It allowed your safety to just know exactly where he needed to be. If you're Austin Peay, though, this is where you capitalize on this mistake, Barry. You go down the field here. You just were stalled out the last offensive series. You got to get some big plays here. You got to get your big guys up front blocking. You got Javius Bond in here. You can be a little crafty. You can be a little tricky here with this offensive unit that's on the field right now.
Govs get their 4th pick of the year, first for Rattan. And we're going to get movement up front.
False start, offense, number 73, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Big Eli Sutton, the transfer out of North Carolina, who's been starting at that left tackle since the injury started. He's ready to go on that play without a doubt. 3rd penalty on the Govs is going to back him up to midfield after the interception. Parson has plenty of time, clean pocket. Now he's going to step up, throw on the move. He'll get it over to the tight end. Jackson Head will get the catch, and he's going to get the sticks to move. Good to see Jackson catch a ball as he was on a tear earlier in the year, but use that tight end.
How about number 89 putting a little shake on this as well? Watch when Parson gets out. He swings it over to him. Watch Jackson Head here. Just a little stop in the ground. Makes a move, big 8-9. Let's go.
Back to the ground game, kind of picking his spot, and then just got hammered. Bond is always just patiently looking for that hole, but DeMarcus Robinson, one of the best in the UAC, leads his team in tackles. He would have none of that.
Yeah, that was a great play to just sniff that one out, as Austin Peay's going to let this one come down to the end of the quarter.
This is the end of the first quarter.
A good first quarter. Austin Peay's on the move after the first big turnover in this one in the Gubs on homecoming day. They lead it 7-0. We'll take a break and return to Clarksville, Tennessee after you watch this here on ESPN+. Well, Austin Peay, 95 yards of offense in that first quarter, most of it through the air. They've just rushed it for 14 yards. Coming off a big turnover, and they're going to try to cash in points here and take a big advantage against their rivals, the Lions, who they first met in 1949. Flag comes out as Parson keeps the play alive. Oh, a little spin move as he'll take it inside the 25. Looks like this one be coming back. Here's the call.
Personal foul, face mask, offense number 71, 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, they're going to get Harrison Wilkes for that. Oh, what a move, though, by Parson. You know, he's he's so dangerous when he tucks it and goes, when he tries to make something happen. Sometimes he gets, and you mentioned it earlier, a little too patient sometimes, trying to pick somebody out, waiting on a play when he could rifle it in, maybe get some run after the catch. But, man, when he tucks it and goes, he is a weapon.
Correction. Replay, second down.
So they're going to back him up all the way to the 46, it looks like, of UNA after that face mask penalty. Robinson will creep in motion. Man, what a day he had at Eastern Kentucky. He did all his damage in that first half. Here's Parson to get on the move, and he flips that pass out there, and it's caught, upended. Jackson Head again. The tight end is back here. I think it's tight end weekend in the NFL, but it's starting on Saturday.
Absolutely, and a really good job here. Robinson comes up. That brings everybody's eyes up, which allows Head to sneak in right behind the linebackers. That's a fantastic job. You know how good Robinson is, but Head's a really good player too. You have to keep your eyes on where number 89 is on the field at all times if you're North Alabama. He makes them pay there.
We get movement, and now they'll blow it dead. 27-yard pickup, by the way, to Head.
Ingram was in the backfield before the ball was even snapped. He was pointing at the offensive lineman, but they allowed the snap to go.
Offside. Defense number 44. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Second one on the Lions. Yeah, I think they were going to let it be a free play until he was unabated.
I think he might have had a case there. Wilkes was doing a little movement there. You could see it on our replay, but again, the official really probably couldn't see that one on this side, and you got to give it to this line judge that's over here. He may not be able to see that with the way that Wilkes' body was blocked there.
1st and 5. Parson getting a lead block from his tight end, trying to bounce it to the outside, and he'll get pushed out. Looks like 2nd and short. Ball at the 9-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and 1, or is it a 1st down? Looks like he did get enough he just needed 5. So Parson with the ball at the 9, trying to take a 2-touchdown lead. He will give it here, bouncing it outside. There he is, Mr. Bond for the touchdown. Javius Bond showing that speed around the corner, and the Govs jump out big here on homecoming.
And again, number 2 is such a game changer for Austin Peay. He takes a beautiful handoff, and he won't slow down. Man, number 2, it's good to have him back, good to have him healthy if you're a Govs fan, because he is an absolute explosive and just talented player that the Governor's been able to use not only on special teams but on offense. And hey, he started on the roster as a defensive back, so he's been everywhere for Austin Peay.
The ruling on the field of a touchdown is under further review.
Okay, so they're going to take a look at this and see if he was able to slip in there.
I think
that'll be Bond's 3rd rushing touchdown if it stands.
I think they're just wondering if he stepped out early. This is a great run. I mean, he sheds a couple tackles there. It's just, did he get across before that? Yeah, he's in. That's a touchdown. And I think the only reason why they're looking at this, Barry, is because the ball was in his left hand. So I don't know if maybe they thought maybe he stepped out, but that's everything across the plane there. They may call it short there. I mean, just because of where the ball placement was more than anything. I think that's what you're looking at more than anything, is not that he make any contact with it, because he crosses over his body, but the ball is in his left hand. So they got to see if the ball was over the pylon technically or if it was out of play.
So we will await and see if this one stands for Bond. who is the transfer from East Carolina, is out of Macon, Georgia. Who could forget his first touch in the stadium? The Morehead State game, he took it 84 yards.
After review, the ruling on the field is upheld. It is a touchdown.
All right, so Bond will get the score. Third touchdown of the year, a 9-yard strike. Caps off a 5-play scoring drive, 45 yards, set up by the defense, getting the turnover.
Yeah, and I think that's a good call by this officiating crew because, I mean, there wasn't really an angle on that to disprove the call on the field. Really good job there by Javius Bond, though, just taking that corner and getting another touchdown here for the Governors.
Smith gets it up and in, and Austin Peay's jumped out to a 2-touchdown advantage, 14-0 here on homecoming day. And that's going to lead us to a break. Govs will kick it back to the Lions when we come back after Javius Bond gets around the corner, 9-yard touchdown for the Governors.
In the UAC, we value sportsmanship on the field and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans,
and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about taking ownership after a loss
and being humble after a win.
We want you to team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are
United Athletic Alliance.
Coleman Tractor. We're more than just a dealership. We're a place where families come together, where smiles are shared, and where dreams take root. Whether you're searching for a new Kubota tractor, parts, or dropping off your tractor for maintenance, our team goes the extra mile to ensure you have what you need. From household tasks to the toughest jobs, our lineup of Kubotas at Coleman Tractor are with you every step of the way. We're working hard to keep you working.
Touchdown catch by Shamar Kirk and a touchdown run by Javius Bond have the Governors 14-0. Govs' last 5 games, you see those 2 L's were both 2 road games in the UAC, losing at EKU 2 weeks ago and that first conference loss at Abilene Christian. But outside of that, they've been perfect here at home this year with a huge victory, handing West Georgia their first loss of the season here a few weeks back. Played really well here in Fort Terra Stadium this year. Carson Smith set to kick this one off. As the Govs try to keep pace, they're still ranked despite that EKU loss, 25th in a poll, 23rd in the other. And Smith, another touchback for Carson, his 28th on the year. Let's go back down to the field now and check in with Kendra.
Javius Bond helping extend the Governor's lead. He also leads the UAC in punt return average. But head coach Jeff Ferris told me he leads this team in another way as well. He said Bond is the guy who leads the group in community service hours, saying Bond makes it a point of emphasis to give back every opportunity he can. Coach Ferris couldn't have higher praise for a guy who he says is winning in every phase of life, guys.
Got Javius Bond doing it all for this team, playing a little defense, offense, but he's great in the community. And Wade's going to carry it, but not much happening on first down.
Ellison, the second, comes down. That's a really good job. Hey, how about hats off there, though, to Chase Allen? I know he's one of those guys that just plays so intense on the field always, but when you watch him there, Barry, he makes sure to keep in front of the outside blocking to make sure that Wade can't get around the corner, around the edge there. It allows his guys to come out and help him there, like Ellison, who just runs up there and ends up making that tackle. That could have been a big gain for Wade, but that's what you teach those guys, those linebackers, those nickel corners, things like that. You got to keep yourself inside and take away any outside run game.
Wade, tight coverage, but he's able to get one in right at the 30s. He'll get it to Noah Gregg. Gregg, a redshirt freshman, was a walk-on a year ago, put on scholarship this year. 4 touchdown catches for him, including one a week ago, and makes a tough catch in traffic there.
Yeah, freshman of the week in the old UAC here. So definitely a guy that's growing and going to continue to grow for this North Alabama team.
3rd and 4 at their own 31. The Lions trying to slow this tempo down, use a lot of the play clock. Would love to put a drive together here, and Wade's going to airmail this one. He looked for Gregg again. Gregg is a big target at 6'3", but he sailed that one over his head, and it'll be a 3 and out by this Austin Peay defense.
I got to give some credit there to number 6, Juice, down there, protected the quarterback's backside. Barry Governors had a free release, it looked like. He got down low and took out a guy who was sprinting that would have had an absolute just kill shot on Wade if he wasn't paying attention. I mean, that's one of those things you got to be happy when you have a running back that has your back like that.
Bond with a fair catch call. He'll make it at the 21. So quickly, that UNA defense has got to come back out against Austin Peay, and we'll see it when we come back. Govs pitching a shutout on homecoming. They lead it 14-0 here on ESPN+. Back here at Forterra Stadium, North Alabama, Austin Peay. The Lions, their 8th year in FCS football. They were a Division II powerhouse, and you see their last 5 results. It had been a struggle. Their first Division I win of the year came against Eastern Kentucky at home. Their final homecoming in Brawley Stadium. They will be moving to a brand new stadium next season. And they've got a tough test today against a very good Austin Peay team, and they've already spotted them 14 points as the Govs get the ball back on the attack with Chris Parson. Chris scans the scene. He's going to go deep. He's got Kirk, and he drops it in the bucket. Shamar will step through a tackle, and Shamar Kirk will take this ball to the house. Parson to Kirk for the second time today, and Austin Peay jumps out to a 20-0 lead.
Well, Shamar Kirk, man, he turned on the burners down here on the near side. That was everything about that was pretty. Everything went right. Offensive line held their blocks perfectly. Gave your quarterback plenty of time to just drop back and let your speedy receiver get down the sideline. And man, Shamar Kirk, what a beautiful job to haul that one in and then high step out of a tackle that was going for the shoestrings.
Well, you think Shamar likes playing in this stadium. All 5 of his touchdowns have come here at the Fort. One play, 79-yard drive takes 11 seconds. That's how you get it done by this explosive passing attack by the Governors. They've jumped out on top in a big way, 21-0, as Parson will get another touchdown pass, his 13th of the year. He hits Kirk, and he does the rest. Governors rolling 21-0 here on ESPN+.
Hey Govs fans, I'm Ryan Harper, your trusted local realtor with Byers & Harvey and a proud former Austin Peay student athlete. Born and raised here in Stashville, I know the area like the back of my hand. From Sango to Fort Campbell and everywhere between, whether you're buying or selling or exploring your options, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Call me today, and as always, let's go Peay.
From the start of an Austin Peay student's journey, they expect more. They expect to gain real-world experiences to set them apart. They expect to learn with state-of-the-art tools and facilities. So we give it to them. So when our graduates look back, they'll see it all starts at Austin Peay.
You're gonna love Matthews Nissan. Listen to our customers.
We love Matthews Nissan. We bought 11 vehicles here. I love their award-winning service. When I bring my car in for service, I go right up through the garage door and someone is there waiting for you. I've recommended several people to Matthews Nissan, including my son, my daughter, 2 friends who came and bought a Nissan here.
Matthews Nissan, where your satisfaction is our #1 priority.
Well, the fans have enjoyed this one so far on homecoming day. Chris Parson hooking up with Shamar Kirk already 2 times today, but this time from 79 yards out. As the Govs have built this 3-touchdown advantage, we look at some of the information about this Govs program. They won the first ever UAC championship back in 2023, and in the pregame show out in the tailgate today, we had the guy that engineered that attack, Mike DeLillo. He'd be pleased with what he's seeing out of Chris today.
Absolutely, yeah. The CEO, Mike DeLillo, was here. He's still in attendance, man, and he's one of those guys. He became a household name here in Clarksville. I think Chris Parson is going to be just like that. He's going to be someone the Govs remember forever. We saw the Ring of Honor earlier today, Barry. My guy, Reed Harper, got to get him a shout-out going in the Ring of Honor. Mike DeLillo is going to be there in a couple of years, I promise you that, and Chris Parsons hopefully as well for the Governors.
Great to see the alums come back. So many great athletes, all different sports here at Austin Peay today as part of the homecoming activities. A lot of fun out there. We've had a nice day. And they've enjoyed what they've seen so far out of the home team. 21-0, 2 touchdown passes.
Number
Parson,
58 for Austin Peay has now reported as number 9.
Parson to Kirk. Then it was a 9-yard touchdown run for Javius Bond, who is back today as well.
Can we give an MVP award to the cloudy skies that we have today, Barry? That's what we really need, man.
Yep.
Usually this time of game, man, we're getting beat down by the sun here.
Sun trying to peek out, but lots of cloud cover today. Helps not only we two guys in the booth being able to see, but our camera ops as well.
Absolutely.
They've got to stare into it, so we like the cloud cover. In a 70-degree day, you'll take that here in late October. So Wade's had a tough go of it after a great start a week ago against Eastern Kentucky. He did so much damage with his legs. 109 yards against the Colonels. He did throw for 2 touchdowns, but only threw for 127 yards. So the ground game was working, but not so far today. He rifles this one out. He's just been off target today as he'll go incomplete trying to hit Scott, the transfer out of Kansas.
Yeah, that was a really good design play. I mean, he had Scott open on that out. He just overthrew him. I don't know if maybe the issue is that they're not running the route deep enough, because that's what it looks like on the past couple misses. They've just been over the head of the receiver, and usually what that means is that your receivers are cutting the route just a little bit too short. I don't know if maybe that's the issue or not, but that could have been a really good first down ball if he just puts that on the numbers there.
Quickly, it's third down again. The Govs trying to get another stop. Wade with the big arm rifles this one out and making the grab to get the first down going up the ladder. KJ Fields, he had a step and he comes down with it. We see the big arm by Wade. I think today it's been his footwork. He's not really lined up that body well, just had some passes get away. That time he's able just to show that big arm off.
Yeah, now they're going to move over. That was Creary that gets caught on there. They've moved Ellis over to that side.
44 yards through the air. Wade, let's see if that gets him jacked up going. He tries to cut back, and it's Governors everywhere. Kendall Ball said, "You're not getting around me." He brought him back in, a little help from his friends, and not much happening for Wade there at all.
How about my guy Deuce, one of the sports comm students here at Austin Peay, in on that tackle for a loss there. Had some company. You mentioned Kendall Ball. He's another one of our one of our communication students here at Austin Peay. He leads the charge, but my guy Deuce comes over, makes a big play.
Loss of 3 on the ground. It's Piggies in motion. He'll get back to the original line of scrimmage right at about the 31 after the big play for UNA. They desperately need something. You got the sense this team was on life support, and that big hookup to Fields from Wade has pumped life into this team as they try to get on the board here in this first half. That first down play really hurt. Now they're at a 3rd and 10, 3rd and long again. Able to convert on the big play a moment ago. They did on their first series, march into Gov territory. They missed a 46-yard field goal. Wade steps up, and here's what he did against EKU all last week. Lots of room to run, and he's just going to step around a defender and get into the end zone. That was all Destin Wade. Nobody there to step up against Wade. He makes one man miss, and he takes it into the end zone, and the Lions get just what the doctor ordered.
And that's a fantastic run by the quarterback there. He evades a lot of the pressure that was going down. A really good, well-designed blitz by Austin Peay, but they left a gap open. And number 5, man, he makes them pay. And then you saw what he can do when he gets into that open field. It's hard to bring him down. He's a big physical guy running downhill. That's a big play, and that's a big way to get on the board. You're down 21-0.
PAT is up. It's good by Chandler Dixon, who handles the PAT duties. So despite Wade's impressive numbers on the ground, that's just his first rushing touchdown, but it comes in a big way. 31-yard touchdown after he had a 44-yard play to keep that drive alive through the air when he hit Fields. Here he steps up. Looked like the pocket was going to collapse on him. Nothing but green grass. I thought for a minute when he kind of throttled down he might slide, but when you're as big as Destin Wade, you're not sliding out here. He took it right to the house.
Yeah, it's just a big physical guy. And you see Tate has a chance here, tries to dive at his legs, and he takes all the contact in the world.
Nice block. You love seeing the receivers block out in front. Fields made the big catch and then clears a path out for his quarterback Wade to scamper into the end zone and get the Lions on the board here. Much needed for this team, as the Govs were about to deliver a knockout blow before those 2 big plays. Both were third down big conversions. Ian Vachon's going to kick it off, and Austin Peay's going to get it back as they jumped out 21-0 before the Lions were able finally to strike here in this first half. Austin Peay still with a couple of home games left. They're going to make the long trip out to Southern Utah next week. And then we're back here in 2 weeks for the bitter rivalry with Central Arkansas. Samford will come in, and the Govs are going to close it up in a big one. If they keep winning, a huge game to wrap up the season in Texas against Tarleton State. This one kicked short. Going to be taken by Bond. Bond weaving his way through. Javius Bond going to bounce it to the outside. This is what he can do. And he'll get pushed out of bounds after a huge return. Gets it into UNA territory all the way to the 34. And it looks so effortless. Just a little bit of a wiggle and he's to the outside.
Man, this is beauty. You can't leave this short to number 2. Great blocking in front of him as well. That kick team doing a great job of making that wall for him to get around. And, hey, man, sometimes the kicker's got to hit. That's one way you do it. Bashan came over. He said, man, I have to put a body here at least. I can't be on a highlight reel for number 2. He does a great job there of pushing him out of bounds. But, man, you can't leave it short by any stretch of the imagination for Javius Bond. He just scored a touchdown as well offensively. And, man, he almost had a big kick return here to get things back on track for Austin Peay.
He's a top punt returner in the league. Parson throws, coming back to make the grab. We've seen him do it so many times. Jaden Robinson leads the team in receptions and in yards. I believe it's his first one of the day, but it's a big gain. And the Govs, boy, they squelched that momentum quickly.
Absolutely.
UNA after the score, after Bond, 55 yards on that kickoff return. Has a 55-yard punt return this year, but he matches that kickoff return. Gov's going to keep it on the ground and working his way all the way to the 10-yard line. Number 10, Isaiah Groves. A couple of weeks ago, he was the freshman of the week. How about 11 yards per carry? Had 71 yards and 6 carries against EKU.
This is what I love, Barry. He says, I'm not going to do anything fancy. I want you to tackle me. He was lowering the shoulder the moment he saw the safety come up. He wasn't worried about anything else but being the dude there. You got to love to see that kind of throwback that we're starting to see in that running back position. No longer the finesse guys. They want to be physical out here.
Simmons in the backfield. We see also Caden Williams split out to the left. Flags will fly before this ball gets snapped.
False start. Offense, number 79. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
You called it. They're going to get Nick Hilliard for that one. We'll see it.
Yeah, he just starts moving. He puts his hand up off the ground, too. That's a big part of it. So that one's easier to see than maybe the wiggle that was going on by Wilkes earlier, and that's going to get called every time.
Big Caleb Brown was certainly helping the officials. He was pointing it out. Play action, Parson to Groves. Parson's going to roll out. Nice job defensively. UNA got after him that time. Just has to throw it away.
Yeah, a couple of Lions in pursuit there. E.J. Colbert and company just getting on Parson, and man.
There is no intentional grounding as the quarterback was outside of the tackle box and the ball went beyond the line of scrimmage. Second down.
That's a great call by that officiating crew. He was nowhere inside the box there. He was chased out of it, man. I mean, he's definitely, when North Alabama has brought pressure, they've been able to get back there on Chris Parson.
Parson will give to Groves. Again, he'll lower those pads, get back to the 10-yard line. We saw Groves earlier in the year, was very impressive in his limited snaps, but had a huge game in their last contest 2 weeks ago against EKU from nearby East Robertson. 3-star high school athlete. 2A Mr. Football's got that one-time Freshman of the Week honor. And it's you just add him to that mix. There's so many guys that can do things out of that backfield, not only on the ground, but catching it. Big third down. Ball at the 10 for Parson. Maxwell and Kirk, bottom of your screen. He's looking that way, steps up, and Chris will tuck it. He will go into the end zone. Another touchdown for Parson, and let the dance begin. Chris will score again. He's done it 2 times through the air today, and he does this one on the ground as he gets his 8th rushing touchdown of the year.
Boy, everything opened up in front of number 3, and he was untouched into the end zone. And it's a great coverage job by North Alabama on the receivers. Just didn't pick up the quarterback, who can be one of the most dangerous players on this field for Austin Peay.
PAT is good. The Govs answer right back after UNA's first score. They get the electric kickoff return from Javius Bond, and then Parson does it with the legs this time after 2 big touchdown passes. Chris gets into the end zone from 10 yards out, and the Govs take a 28-7 advantage. Still 6:53 to go. We'll see it here.
Just a beautiful job. And how about just the offensive line? You have Chandler Curtin, the center, who just does a fantastic job to get this block sealed off as he steps up, him and Wilkes. And then, of course, Grove steps up
Number
there.
9 of Austin
starts
Peay is
blocking,
reported as
Simmons
number 58.
comes up there and starts blocking, take away that safety. No one's there to even get him, and that's what you got to love to see. If you're Chris Parson and company, they're having fun, Barry. The last time they were out, they lost at Eastern Kentucky. I'm going to tell you right now, that bus ride home was not fun. It's not one of those places where you really, I mean, it's an intense area up in Richmond. When they play football, they care about their colonels up there. I mean, that's an old OVC rivalry for us. We've seen it for years and years, but I mean, it's definitely somewhere where you want to go and have success, but it's hard to do. And this Governor's team, though, you're up 28-7. You can see they're fired up to be here and back at home this week.
Yeah, tough 2 weeks waiting for this game. You always would love to go into that bye week with a win, and just a head-scratching performance at EKU. But the Govs have come out big time today against UNA. So now the Lions will see.
Number 58 for Austin Peay is now reporting as number 9.
We'll see if Wade can carry over his nice series. Got in some third down situations that have not been kind to him today, but he converted. One time 44 yards through the air to Fields, and then a 31-yard touchdown scamper, the first score of the day for UNA. Roderick Taylor Jr. with his first carry out of Mobile, Alabama. That's something UNA, this team really needs to do, and now it gets tougher to stay with that when you're down 3 touchdowns, but they wanted to control the clock, run the football, but they found out early on that's easier said than done against this Govs defense.
And like I mentioned, you got to get this team into where they need to throw the ball, Barry. That's where they're going to struggle a little bit, is if they have to drop back and pass. One thing I am keeping my eye on, Barry, is number 72, Whit Mitchum, has not been in the game here. They had him on the table earlier, and they were stretching out his legs. He's currently still over here. He's a guy that they rotate on that offensive line. He plays in a couple different spots, but he was a starter here today. They have a backup in currently at right tackle. So, again, that's a guy who's taking a lot of snaps to a guy that's not taking as many snaps for this Lions unit.
3 for 7 on third down. 2 of those coming on that last scoring series. It's Fields who'll come in motion. He'll take the handoff, and he'll get tripped up right at the sticks. As Fields will get stopped at the 35, and he will get enough. They're going to move the chain. So nice job. We see them do that a lot, just trying to open things up with this end around. Nice block out there by Juice, trying to free up Fields, and just enough for the first down.
Man, Hanley thought he had him there. Good jet motion, send it over that way, but just couldn't get him before. Good job to fight for the extra yard.
Empty backfield for Wade, design run all the way, and he made a little bit out of nothing because it closed quickly. That green grass he saw up front. Redding, again, who got the start today. Miles Wiley is out. So Redding, the transfer from Kennesaw State at free safety today, getting the start. Big T.J. Cox is out too with 3 sacks on the year. So 2 defenders who have really been a big part of the defense. Their backups are seeing the big minutes today. Going to lose one on that one. 2nd and 11. Here comes Juice in motion. Javion Allen. And he'll get hit right at the boundary. He'll get out of there off that bench. Flag is on the play. Officials are going to huddle up. We've had 7 penalties called today, 5 on Austin Peay.
Got a personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense number 74. It's a 15-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
It's Gage Saint, the left tackle.
Well, that must be because of retaliation over here on the sideline. I think Hardy gets in there, and again, he's a step in the white. That's probably could have been called. I don't see 74 anywhere over there. I know they just called it. It must have been back this way with the lineman. I thought maybe he ran over there and did something, but you know, a lot of times it's that retaliation by someone that gets seen, and that's what gets called a lot of times, more so than the actual play that could be the offense. And again, you know, you see that over that sideline with Hardy kind of being in there and maybe a little bit later of a hit, but also running back was bracing for it. So, I mean, that's also probably why that doesn't get called there.
Big 15-yard penalty. Looks like 2nd and 17. All the way back to UNA's 28. Did they get it spotted correctly?
The rolling on the field is under further review for potential targeting.
Okay, so again, it was not where the tackle happened as Juice Allen took it all the way around to the boundary at Austin Peay sideline. Let's see if we can pick it up here. 74. That's who it was. It's who it was called upon. Kind of lowered that head there. It looks like he might hit the shoulder pad. At the very bottom of the screen, you see that hit.
That's where I need my telestrator, Barry. I can draw some pictures on the screen for you.
It's Montrez Smith, named to the Jerry Rice Award watch list, who's the team's leading tackler, Austin Peay, the transfer from Duke and Western Kentucky. And
I don't think this one gets called there. I think they hold it off. That looks like it hits Sweat more than anything. If it does, it hits him in the shoulder pad, maybe in the lower part of his helmet, but it doesn't look like anything too much. Yeah, if they're trying to call that on 74, that's a good, I mean, he puts his head down, but you can see it doesn't even really look like in that angle that it makes any real contact with Smith at all. Looks like it's more so just into his shoulder pad there.
Great job by Adam and our crew today, finding that angle. And Chris Bryson, our referee, taking a look at that, but I think it's a play on, nothing there. But you know, that hit that was not called is definitely, we saw both feet on the white and he hit him. Watching that Eastern Kentucky game 2 weeks ago, they let a lot of that go in the first half, and it really got out of hand in the second half. You, as an officiating crew, you've got to put a stop to that early because that game really got chippy in Richmond.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times, even a call like this where the official's going in, and we saw the replay, and it doesn't look like it will be called that way, in my opinion, Barry. But sometimes you just have to go to that monitor to kind of remind everybody, hey, we're not going to allow it to be like that either.
There's the
after review. There is no targeting on the play. It'll be 2nd down from the 29-yard line.
But, you know, for the most part, you can always be critical with officials, but this crew's done a nice job. When they have buzzed down or went to review, they have made the correct call today. And Saint will play on, and that's the right call. Really didn't see anything there. As it gave Coach Brent Dearman, seeing that gold T-shirt, hard to miss him. Gives him more time to figure out what he wants to do here on 2nd and about 18. So for Wade on the day, 3 for 11, 83 yards, has thrown the interception. Rishi Rattan got one for Austin Peay, their 4th of the year for the Govs. Wade's their leading rusher at 35 yards. He got 31 of those on the touchdown run, the only points on the board for the purple-clad Lions today of UNA out of Florence, Alabama. Throws this one out, and not much happening. Boy, really getting to the football. Roderick Taylor out of the backfield will make the catch, but, well, you love to see that today, the rally to the football.
Yeah, How about Jake Stonebreaker? I didn't call him Bone Cutter this time. I got it right. He's just got one of those great names for a linebacker. You just think of some of the great ones. But, man, Stonebreaker comes in there and immediately watches the running back out of the backfield and is the first one to respond. He had been playing with that big club on his hand, and he's got 2 hands now. He's like, hey, man, this is going to be a big day for me. I can finally get back to it, yeah.
3rd and forever for Wade and the Lions. Able to get a 44-yard completion. He's going to dump this one off. Sets up the screen to Taylor. Govs have to tackle, and he lunges his way forward to the 40. They'll get him short of the first down marker, but not a bad play by Taylor. Taylor's getting his first 2 catches of the year. Has only 6 carries coming into play today out of that backfield.
That's a really good move to make Stonebreaker miss there, but you see Redding and company come over and get that stop. That was huge. You know, those draws and those screen passes are so effective on 3rd down because you don't want to give up anything deep, so you start to get that little bit of a lax. And then, of course, when the defensive line, man, when they think that they have a kill shot on the quarterback, they just scream at him, which usually lets that running back slip out.
Well, that's a great thing to see if you're a special teams coordinator when Bond calls for that fair catch. When he waves that arm, you're like, whoo, dodged a bullet here. So the Govs offense will come back out with 2:19 to go, trying to get more points. Again, UNA won the toss. They deferred. They will get the second half kickoff, so it could be the final series of this half for Austin Peay to try to march it down and add on to this 28-7 advantage here on homecoming. There's UNA. 3 times they won the Division II title, won it 3 times in a row. They were the first team at any level to three-peat, just a dominant Division II program.
Yeah, they're still the only team in Division II football to ever win 3 straight years in a row, 1993, 94, and 95.
Rifles a pass out. Parson on first down. Going to get it to Alec Pell. Head, the tight end, the starter, had a couple of catches earlier, and Alec Pell gets one here. Transfer out of North Colorado, 2 touchdown grabs a year ago.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
And we're going to hit the 2-minute timeout as Austin Peay on the move again, trying to get more points before halftime on homecoming day. They are in total control, leading it 28-7 here on ESPN+. Govs on the move, leading 28-7. 2 minutes left in this first half of this homecoming matchup. Shamar Kirk having a big day. 85 yards receiving, 2 touchdowns for his catches, one being 79 yards. Javius Bond with a touchdown. Destin Wade able to scamper 31 yards for the lone touchdown so far for the UNA Lions. So the Govs now with 2 minutes to go. They have all their timeouts to work with. Parson with play action. Chris wanting more. He's going to go deep. He's got Garnett, but it's incomplete. Still wanting to get Nate, and they're going to get him. We see that at least once per game. A lot of times we see it early. Send him deep. A deep threat who caught 6 touchdowns for Morehead State a year ago. But it falls incomplete.
You've got to like that shot there on first down. You still have 3 downs to play with here. Obviously, you're not going to really go for a 4th down unless you're close enough in a situation like this, because you don't want to give up any short yardage with a minute 54 left. But the Govs can make a shot like that and try to come back, maybe get a nice little run here, try to pick up a couple or a short passing route.
Parson, and it's caught for the first down at the 35. Another grab by Jackson Head, his 3rd catch of the day for the tight end, who leads all UAC tight ends with 2 touchdown grabs this year. Govs with tempo here in the final 2 minutes. Parson pump fakes, he takes off to the right. Chris trying to get outside, a nice tackle, little shoestring tackle to pull him down and keep that clock moving.
That's a fantastic job there by the DB to come up and make that tackle, keep the clock running here.
Looks like Devon Martin may have had that one, bobbled it, and it'll fall incomplete. Trying to get it out to Kamari Maxwell. Kamari with a catch in this game. It went for 34 yards. And for the freshman, his 15th catch of the year. 33 touchdowns in high school. Very impressive young man out of Savannah, Georgia.
He may have been able to run for a couple days if he catches that one. He had good blocking right in front of him. That's a really well-designed play on 2nd down. If you're Maxwell, you got to catch that ball.
It's Kirk in motion on this 3rd down play for the Austin Peay offense. Simmons out in the flat. As he cuts back, still on his feet, he'll get it to the 47 before he's brought down. Simmons has been the favorite target of Parson as far as the running backs go.
Yeah.
And the Govs get the 1st down.
And you talk about a big play potential too, man. Watch this guy get open on a wheel route.
Yeah, we've seen that this year. I know Coach Dearman has as well. He's going to line this one up and give it all he's got, just a little too much. Overthrown. Parson trying to hit Maxwell. Govs taking those deep shots. Clock will stop, 53 seconds, but hey, take your shot on 1st down.
And Maxwell has this beat. It's just a little bit too far in front of him. Parsons has all day to throw this. Man, and how about the effort by 12? Just give it what you got. He jumped and was still about a foot away from the ball. But, man, that's a heck of a job by 12 just to show, hey, man, I'm a team guy. I don't care. I just want to catch this ball. I want to do my best for the team, man. He had an opportunity there to make a highlight grab. He was just a little well off of it.
From the 47, it's a 2nd and 10. Play action to Simmons. Parson gets it out there for Robinson, and Robinson unable to pull it in.
I know it's easy for me up here in the box to say, oh my goodness, he should have thrown that to Simmons. The running back had some really good room. Watch him get open on this slip right here. He could have ran for a while, but it's a good decision. Robinson, he's a trusty target for Chris Parson, and 81 had him beat there on a little bit of the corner route. But again, I think if you just drop that one off to Simmons, he may run for a little bit.
Robinson with the 1 catch today, 29 to lead all Govs receivers. Leads them in touchdowns too with 5, but Kirk has caught him with the 2 today. Those 2 share that lead. Parsons going to step up, and they're able to stay home and to prevent the 1st down run. He'll get it across midfield.
Timeout, North Alabama, their first of the half, 30 seconds.
So now UNA is going to take the timeout as they force this 4th down right at midfield.
A really good job on that play by Fred Villi to come up and just kind of retrace his steps as Parsons was breaking contain. Watch this here. He's inside. He's blocked up, but he stays with it. and a couple of players kind of jump on him there, and he kept Parsons tangled up a little bit there. You know, Parsons was a little bit slower to get up, and I think, you know, maybe if that ends up being a little bit closer across the 50, we see the offense stay out here after that timeout. But punting unit comes out, 41 seconds. North Al, they know they get the ball back at the half. Try to get into your 41-second offense here, Barry, and see if you can't put some points on knowing you're going to get the ball at the half.
Leftrick out to punt again as he'll stand at his own 38. Boots this one high. We'll see if the Govs can cover. It gets a big UNA bounce, but down at the 11. So UNA with 2 timeouts, 32 seconds. We'll see if they'll take a few deep shots as well. As you mentioned, again, they will get the ball coming out of the locker room second half. So it's been a...
The clock operator, please reset the game clock to 33 seconds, 3-3.
Been a quarterback battle this year. Ari Patu had made 4 starts as Wade makes his 4th start today. Back and forth. They both have battled some injuries. Patu, the transfer from Stanford, was on the team a year ago, and he got hurt after playing a few games. And then Wade comes in from Colorado. Got banged up after getting some starts early. Engineered 1 scoring drive. He rifles this one out. And they're going to say he did catch it in bounds. Tanaka Scott will make the grab. He'll certainly live with that, a 1-yard pickup. 28 seconds to go in this first half.
And the Govs defense is trying to make this as tough as possible. They were bringing some heat on that one. Now it looks like they're going to drop back. They may disguise a late blitz here if they do. If not, they're just going to rush 3.
And UNA looks to be content to keep this on the ground. Javian Allen has been held in check so far today.
Austin Peay, their first of the half, 30 seconds.
Back and forth we go between these two coaches.
Absolutely. Jeff Ferris said, all right, it's going to bring up 3rd down here. We might be able to get a stop on you, call another timeout, force the punt unit out there. Hey, and 2, man, he's the guy that's going to be back there to return this. We know how dangerous he can be. You get some good blocking in here and don't allow that coverage team to get down there. There's a good possibility if you're Austin Peay, you set yourself up on a good return for possibly a late field goal or maybe even a shot before trying to get there. I mean, 22 seconds is a long time in the game of football.
Or, hey, 2 times. Ellis hasn't blocked a kick today.
That's true.
Seems to block one every home game, right?
That's true. He's trying to. He always likes to send us home with a good call on the night with something.
All right, 3rd and 4. Can the Lions keep it alive and finish off this half? They will. They'll get the first down. They go back to Scott. And we'll see what Coach Dearman wants to do with his 2 timeouts.
Timeout, North Alabama, their 2nd of the half, 30 seconds.
All right, so he'll take his. He's down to 1. Ball is going to be spotted at the 27 with 17 seconds to go. They've kind of just taken underneath here the first. Are they going to take a shot deep with 17 seconds to go? You would think it would be coming here on the first down play.
Yeah, and you can't look back
game
at
clock
that.
Operator, please reset the game clock to 19 seconds.
You can't look back at that previous interception that was thrown and say, hey, we can't take a shot here. I know what North Alabama's trying to do. The good thing that they have here, though, is, you know, one of the things that's been open, Barry, on a lot of these drives have been those out routes that these receivers have been running. You can get one of those deeper out routes, try to get another first down here and just kind of dink and dunk your way down the field as long as you can only take a couple seconds and make sure your receivers get out.
Fields had the big catch, the 44-yard play that converted a 3rd down and led to the touchdown. And tracked down from behind. Down goes Wade. A little dance here on homecoming. Davion Hood. 4th sack of the year for him. And that'll do it for this first half of play.
This is the end of the first half.
Nice finish to the half for that Austin Peay defense led by Hood. 28-7. Govs with a very impressive first half, almost 300 yards of total offense. They've got big-time touchdown passes from Parson and Kirk. We've seen Chris run one in, and we've also seen Javius Bond run one in for those 28 big points on the board, leading 28-7. Impressive first half. We're going to send it down now to Kendra with the head coach of the Govs.
Coach, impressive first half. You're up by 3 scores. How would you evaluate that first half from your guys?
I love how hard our guys are playing. Our culture is showing a lot of things that we still need to fix. We got to put a complete football game together. We got a chance to do that with 2 great quarters, however long it takes, and just keep fighting.
Your defense looked good there in the end, and knowing that UNA gets the ball to start the second half, what do you want to see from them early to close this one?
We're going to be a little bit better on third downs. That was kind of an issue, especially third and longs. We're in great position. We got to go make plays.
And looking at the touchdown from UNA, Destin Wade was able to use his legs. How do you shut that down to ensure that that never happens in the second half again?
Yeah, it was a drop back pass. We brought some pressure, and we just got to get the guy on the ground. He's a heck of a player. He's going to make a few. We just got to keep playing.
Awesome. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, Kendra, with head coach Jeff Ferris, got to be pleased. 28-7, his Govs lead here on homecoming. Stay with us. We've got a lot more coming up. Our halftime show is next. We'll look around the UAC and check the stats and highlights of the first half. Austin Peay leading over North Alabama here on ESPN+. Homecoming day here at Austin Peay in Clarksville, Tennessee. And the home team putting on a show, 28-7. They lead it here at the break. It's a couple of touchdown passes in that first half for Chris Parson. As we look at the UAC, new conference, part of a merger with the ASUN and the WAC football leagues. 2023 it formed, and Austin Peay was the champion the first year in football. It's turned out to be one of the premier conferences in FCS football, just getting better and better, and you see some of the reasons why right there.
Yeah, you have some ranked opponents or some ranked teams here, including Tarleton State, who's been on an absolute terror down in Texas. The Purple Poo, letting people know who's on top of the UAC this year for certain. Austin Peay, of course, still in the top 25. I think this game's going to keep moving them up. Same with Abilene Christian as well. The Wildcats, it's a fantastic team in the UAC. How about the Texans, though? They are second in the FCS in scoring offense. They're behind Tennessee Tech. So that's who they're following up. And then Joshua Dye, first in touchdowns with 15, third in the FCS in rushing yards. Austin Peay, they're going to have to travel to Southern Utah next week. They're going to see Joshua Dye in person.
Yeah, that'll be a big game. Let's look at the scoreboard today. West Georgia bounces back finally after the struggles they had. It started here with their first loss of the year. They won a tight one against Central Arkansas. Tarleton State with the big lead as expected against EKU, and we got the night game later tonight. That will be a good rivalry game out in Utah.
Hey, shout out to West Georgia. That's a marquee win in this conference to get a win over Central Arkansas. Central Arkansas has been a dominant team for years. That's a big one for the Wolves out there. But of course, Tarleton State, they're letting EKU know who's running this conference this year for certain. And yeah, you mentioned that's a big one in Utah. Fired up to see how that one concludes out in Utah tonight.
Scoreboard presented by the Flats off Madison. There's the standings. Tarleton State setting atop, unbeaten on the year. You see the Govs there at 2-2. With those two road losses, they can ill afford another loss, period, whether it's road or at home. And again, if they can close things out in the second half, that Southern Utah game gets very big for the Govs a week from now. There's those rankings, some familiar names at the top, with Tarleton State trying to crash the Dakota Party, coming in third. Montana, Sacramento State played last night. There's the old rivals, Tennessee Tech as well, playing really great football before they make the move from the OVC to the Southern Conference.
Yeah, North Dakota State, South Dakota State play tonight. So Tarleton may find themselves at number 2 after this game that we're going to see. So Tarleton State has a chance to be in the top 2 in the FCS after tonight.
And again, Austin Peay ranked this week 25 in the one poll, 23 in the other. There's some of the numbers on the players of the week. Javian Allen, we're seeing after his impressive performance against EKU a week ago with his 3 touchdowns. And then Noah Gregg, also from this UNA Lions team, caught 3 passes and a touchdown against EKU. So that's the reigning players of the week this week in the United Athletic Conference. And we've got more to come from Clarksville. Austin Peay trying to finish up a big win at homecoming at the break. They lead 28-7 over North Alabama here on ESPN+. Well, the homecoming king and queen are being crowned here at the half. It's homecoming day. Austin Peay and North Alabama hooking up. Series that started back in 1949 between these two schools. Not too far apart, Florence, Alabama. Enrollment a little over 10,000. The oldest university in the state of Alabama are the Lions, and really good rivalry in so many sports with the Govs. Enrollment over 11,000 now for Austin Peay, and former Tennessee governor was Austin Peay. As everybody always says, where'd you get that name if you're not from Texas? That explains it for you right there.
Hey, how about shout out to the homecoming queen, Piper Lions? A fitting one, right?
Yeah.
That'd be a good one. How about some coming up events here at Austin Peay? Volleyball taking on Queens. That'll be tomorrow. And then, Barry, you and I have to call basketball next Tuesday. What are we doing? I thought it was football season. They're making us double work here. I'm seeing nothing but a lot of work for me coming up is what I see. Women's basketball, their home opener against Swanee on November 3rd. Of course, men's basketball taking on Bryan will be a doubleheader. And then volleyball taking on Central Arkansas. I'm just seeing a lot of work laid out for me in the month of November coming up. I guess the business picks up. And you always told me when I was one of your students, more money, more problems. That's how life works for me.
Yep, the overlap of seasons is here. Halftime, Austin Peay leads. We'll be back with more of the halftime show after this on ESPN+. Forterra Stadium, halftime winding down. Let's go down to the field. Kendra Sheehan with head coach Brent Dearman of UNA.
Coach, you get 7 points on the board in that first half. How do you be more consistent and build your offense in the second?
We got to settle Dustin Wade in. Early in the game, he was balls were sailing a little bit high on him. I thought we had some plays there. So we've got to do a good job as a staff of just settling him in and finding things that he can do well right off the bat.
You made a point of emphasis of finishing drives. I mean, that first one, you missed a field goal, but how do you execute, get into the red zone, and make those plays?
Things get harder the closer you get. So you got everybody, all 11 are on the field, got to dig down a little bit deeper. We had opportunities early in that drive that we could have had a big play with. We ran a sluggo on them on the sideline, should have hit them for a big play. So we're just missing out on those big plays right now.
For defense, they have their work cut out for them with Chris Parson doing everything with his legs to the arms. How do you slow him down?
You got to keep him contained. Right now we're rushing past him. And that's what's really hurting us. Is guys are trying so hard to get to him that we're losing the integrity of their pocket and just bottling him up in the pocket. So we've got to stay with pressure on him because he's so dynamic with his legs.
Good luck in the second half. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
Okay, thanks, Kendra. It's Brent Dearman. He's now in his third year at UNA. Spent 1 year as the head coach in the state of Tennessee at Bethel. Took him to a 10-0 season, NAIA number 3 ranking. All Austin Peay in that first half, minus that one drive by Destin Wade, the touchdown drive, as we take a look at some of the highlights from this first half.
Yeah, this is the one, Barry, where you saw Chris Parson, you saw Shamir Kirk. You're telling him, hey, you got to throw the ball. He's open. He finally gets that connection there. That led to the first score for the Govs. That was on their second drive. How about this, though? Javius Bond, he didn't call for the fair catch. It was a great job by the kick coverage team. They were letting him know early on what was going to happen. Then over here, that's Rattan the man catching a pick, getting a little bit of a return there. It was a good job by 2-6. It was red completely the whole way. How about this, Javius Bond? He's somebody that likes to wait around a little bit, pick his best shot that he has. That's a good tackle there to stop him. But Javius Bond says, don't worry, I'm going to find the sea of red here. He does. He gets across the plane there for a touchdown. And then this one was an absolute just beautiful ball. Deep ball down the side. That's Kirk again. High steps out of the tackle and can jog his way in for a touchdown there. And then, of course, Austin Peay, they do let a touchdown go. This is the guy, Wade, making a play. He gets a good block by Fields up front, ends up taking that in for a touchdown. And then, of course, Chris Parsons, he says, hey, don't worry, I'm pretty good on my feet too. He takes that one in. Govs go up 28-7 at the half. That's where we stand currently.
And we see the numbers on that first half. 296 total yards, Austin Peay. Govs doing it mainly through the air with Chris Parson today, 233 passing, just 63 rushing so far. They've doubled up on first downs. North Alabama's done a decent job of time of possession, but Austin Peay's had the big play factored in there as well on that first half. So 2 touchdown passes in this first half for Chris Parson. Brings his total to 13 on the year. Got the rushing touchdown as well, which moves his numbers all the way up to 8 rushing TDs on the year. And you see Destin Wade got the 31-yard touchdown in that first half of the only score for UNA. You heard his head coach Brent Dearman say that tried to settle him down into the game. He was a little erratic early, as we talked about, a little high on throws. He thought he had some plays there. He just missed them, and that's something you can't do against a team like Austin Peay.
We just got a note, Barry. The Govs will be without Chase Allen in the remainder of this game. He's out upper body is what we just got a report from that. So number 15 is going to be done for the night. You're up 28-7. I think that's a good decision. You want to pull somebody, like I said, he's been fantastic tonight, setting the edge and making sure that Wade does have nowhere to go after that big touchdown run that he had.
And Smith will kick this one into the end zone. And the Lions, who deferred on the coin toss, will get it first, as we mentioned, here in the second half. So Destin Wade back out to lead this team. 2 years at Kentucky, as he learned under Will Levis, who of course went on, was drafted by the Titans. As Levis wrapped up that 2022 season, Wade got the start in the Music City Bowl in Nashville at Nissan Stadium against Iowa for Mark Stoops in Kentucky, who will play Tennessee later tonight. For the most part, he's been held in check. Their bell cow. Running back Juice, as he's called, Javian Allen. You just kind of get off script, as we talked about, when you fall behind so big, because you wanted to run the football, which is no one's been able to do against Austin Peay this year, minus the Georgia Bulldogs. And that really, you get that 3-touchdown deficit, you get a little out of character. You got to go take some shots. They run their end around with Piggies, and Piggies is wrapped up. It's going to bring up a third and manageable, so you've got a third and about 4 here to see if you can get the sticks to move. And you heard Coach Jeff Ferris tell Kendra he's not happy with their third down performance. 5 of 10 is pretty good against the Austin Peay defense this year.
Yeah, and he says a lot of it's coming on 3rd and long, and that's what he's not happy about.
It's Greg who comes in motion. Throw it out to Fields, let Greg block for him, and nice play and a first down. So Noah Gregg is 6'3". You bring him in motion. Let him block for Fields, who's been the big play guy so far today for the Lions.
You know, and this is something that we saw in the first half, that first drive where they got in the red zone. This is what worked for them. It was plays like this, getting those guys out, blocking these corners, and getting a chance to throw to some of these smaller receivers and letting them go to work with some yards after catch. That's been the big success here. You had the end around or the jet there, and then going back on these screens and these throws.
Set it up again to Greg. And Greg is going to take it all the way up to midfield. He's going to be just shy of another first down. Noah Gregg, again, is a great story. Walk-on a year ago. Had a TD catch in 4 of the last 5 games. Has Greg, the freshman from close to campus there in Alabama. He is no longer a walk-on. He's on scholarship. He's certainly earning it. Little stutter step. And banging into that defensive front for UNA is J.D. Daniels out of Alabama, the 5th-year senior. Haven't seen him get much as far as the rushing attack today. Have seen him throw the football to him. Up to the 47. Nice start on this drive for UNA out of the locker room. All day to throw for Wade. Now he's going to tuck it and take off. Oh, he gets slung down on the UNA bench, and that's going to lead to some trouble. Don't see the flag looks like it's down there. There's a couple of gold shoes, but I did see a flag. Here's where you got to get him out of there and off that sideline.
Coach Dearman's got to be careful too. He's over there just absolutely berating the official over here. I mean, there's probably the reason why is because there is no flag.
They didn't throw one. Yeah, there's a couple of players with the gold shoes, including Wade. I thought I saw a flag, but he gets just slammed down here.
Yeah,
well, he kind of let go. It could have been worse, but still he's on the white.
Yeah, more than most of the time, especially when it's the quarterback, that's going to get called.
Yeah, hard running right up the gut. Roderick Taylor. That was Tate with that play a moment ago for Austin Peay. Khalil Tate, very lucky, but we've seen one on each end that the officials have let go. And 3rd down. Wade throws it out. Piggies with the catch. He's going to be brought down. Nice tackle. There's Jalen Williams. You just mentioned it. We got the word from Casey Krieger that the nickel Chase Allen is out. His backup comes in, makes a big play.
Well, Barry, I'm a little confused by the decision to throw that behind Piggies. You're 3rd and 1, and you throw it behind him, and you don't put him in the best success to just turn up and get the first down. You throw it behind him there, and he has to adjust, catch it behind him.
1 for 1 on 4th down of the Lions. Can they keep this drive alive? On a 4th and 1. Wade rifles it out to Fields, and he's wrapped up and brought down. Number 7, Raylan Manley leads the team in solo tackles. You put him on an island, he's the man that's going to get off.
Man, what just shot out of a cannon was Manley. They did a great job. They put it out here in this stack formation. Well, you take on a guy and You have Hardy that's just taking on the block, which lets Hanley just get right through there and blow up this play. And, you know, I go back to the third down play, Barry, that's the one that confused me. You throw behind Piggies, you don't give him a chance to work forward. You could have had a first down. Now you're looking at Austin Peay in fairly good position from their own 40 going in.
Govs get their 5th stop on 4th down this year as Manley blows that one up. And the Govs are going to get the ball here for the first time in the second half. They're going to let Bond touch it. Javius stretching it out. Javius down the numbers. Let's see if he can get the block to get in. Will he even need it? He will not. Javius Bond. And another explosive run here in the fort for Bond. And lightning strikes quickly in the second half for the Govs. They take a 34-7 lead.
Hey, can I tell you something cool about that play was Garnett Jr. is running off the corner. The only person that can make this play is the cornerback, Barry, once JV has turned it. Garnett's so fast, and he's burnt the defense so many times, the corner says, I got to pay attention to him. He runs them all the way to the end zone. He turns around, and Javius Bond is stepping in there. Man, we've seen some big runs, 84 yards and now 60 from number 2 in this building. That's fantastic for Javius Bond.
Now the Govs defense will rise up, get a 4th down stop, and just like that, Javius Bond takes it to the house. 60-yard run for the transfer from ECU. Yeah, the corner never turns around. You called it. And Bond, nobody lays a hand on him. Touchdown. 35-7 Govs lead here on Homecoming on ESPN+.
You're going to love Matthews Nissan. Listen to our customers.
We love Matthews Nissan. We bought 11 vehicles here. I love their award-winning service. When I bring my car in for service, I go right up through the garage door and someone is there waiting for you. I've recommended several people to Matthews Nissan, including my son, my daughter, 2 friends who came and bought a Nissan here.
Matthews Nissan, where your satisfaction is our #1 priority.
In the UAC, we value sportsmanship on the field and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about taking ownership after a loss
and being humble after a win.
We want you to team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are United Athletic Conference.
Hey Govs fans, I'm Ryan Harper, your trusted local realtor with Byers & Harvey and a proud former Austin Peay student athlete. Born and raised here in Stashville, I know the area like the back of my hand. From Sango to Fort Campbell and everywhere between, whether you're buying or selling or exploring your options, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Call me today, and as always, let's go Peay.
At Coleman Tractor, we're more than just a dealership. We're a place where families come together, where smiles are shared, and where dreams take root. Whether you're searching for a new Kubota tractor, parts, or dropping off your tractor for maintenance, our team goes the extra mile to ensure you have what you need. From household tasks to the toughest jobs, our lineup of Kubotas at Coleman Tractor are with you every step of the way. We're working hard to keep you working.
35-7, Austin Peay. He's 5'10", listed at 178, the redshirt sophomore from Macon, Georgia. Transfer from East Carolina, and wow, what a performance, 60-yard run. Todd Grisham, notable alum out of North Alabama, NFL draft pick, 174th pick overall. Had a great NFL career. And again, we talked about North Alabama's rich football history. Division II, three-peat, won 3 straight national titles. They're the only Division II team to visit the White House. So they got to go to the White House back in 1996. They've got some work to do here. 35-7 after the Bond touchdown. He's got a 55-yard kickoff return that was not for a touchdown, but it set one up. Then that 60-yard scamper where he showed the speed and nobody was home to stop him. Here's Justin Luke on the return for UNA. So if you're Coach Dearman, you get the ball first. You're seeing what is a promising drive. Have kind of a crazy third down call. You're facing that 4th and 1 situation. You get stopped by the Austin Peay defense, and then bang, lightning strikes in the form of Javius Bond. But
Austin Peay, number 58, is now reporting as number 9.
You see his bio, family of coaches. Dad and brother won state titles in high school in Alabama. Was the OC at Kansas, MTSU, Florida Atlantic. The man tabbed to take this team to the next level at the FCS. As Wade again pressured and just throws it away. Well, the big issue this year between these two quarterbacks, Destin Wade and Ari Patu, have been their completion percentage, both at right around 50%, although Wade threw his first pick today of the year. Patu had 4 picks, but just really unable to sustain anything. Only one game of passing over 200 yards. That was against a nationally ranked Illinois State in a couple of overtimes. But establishing that passing game, and again, he's high. Ellis a better chance at that play. So, again, at 35-7, you got to throw the football, and that's not a strength of this team.
And that was one of the original keys, Barry, was can you get this team into passing situations? If you're Austin Peay up 35-7, you almost have to abandon the run here if you're North Alabama anyway. Try to get some momentum, but again, you're talking about it, right? He's missing a lot of these passes deep. He's going to get a free play here, luckily.
He gets belted as they didn't blow it, and the catch made over 2 defenders. That's Greg. Greg on this free play off to the races. He will get tracked down, though, at the 10. Wow, you kept kind of waiting for the whistle. I think the secondary stopped. Wade did get popped as they came free.
Offside. Defense. That penalty's declined. The result of the play is a first down.
You know, you get the big play, but you also almost got your quarterback knocked out of the game. He takes a big hit here.
Yeah, and you see the collision there in the
Wow.
air between 2 governors, Ellis Jr. included. But, hey, man, there's a guy used to wear number 12 in Green Bay that made a living off of free play situations, and that was just a really good job to hang in there by Wade and find his guy Greg across the middle here. And then, again, a good job by Greg to realize, hey, I got 2 defenders down. I got to run this out.
67 yards to Greg. That was Jalen Williams, who we mentioned. It's in for Chase Allen, who's out. He's made 2 plays. He made a touchdown-saving tackle. Here's a flag coming in as this one airmailed again by Wade, trying to get it to Piggies.
Pass interference. Defense. Automatic. First down.
So just a crazy play. We've talked about Wade's struggles, but when he has completed passes today, he's just 12 of 23. He's hit 2 big ones. That the biggest of the day to Greg, 67 yards, but the 44-yarder to KJ Fields set up his touchdown run in that first half. First and goal after the pass interference, and around the end is KJ Fields. He will get in for the touchdown, showing his speed as he'll take the handoff as he goes right to left and gets into the end zone. So crazy series when you think about it for UNA. Their big play comes to life as 2 Govs collide on a play we thought might get blown dead. It was Austin Peay was offsides, but the big play sets this up.
And again, this has been what has worked for North Alabama in this game. It's been those jet sweeps. It's been the ability to just kind of get those quick out passes, things like that. That's worked for North Alabama to get some yardage against Austin Peay, and now it leads to a touchdown here as well.
Fields' second rushing touchdown as Chandler Dixon hits the PAT. So the Lions answer right back in 5 plays. They get the big play to Greg for 67 yards. Sets up this touchdown for Fields. The Lions trying to hang around on homecoming day. They trail now 35-14 on ESPN+. Well, the Lions strike back. They get a touchdown run by K.J. Fields, set up by a big pass play, 67-yarder. Destin Wade hit Noah Gregg. You see some of the defensive numbers. Austin Peay with the lone sack so far. And that interception by Rattan, he had that one for Austin Peay back in the first half. Let's send it down now to Kendra.
Thanks, Barry. Yeah, Noah Gregg, the former walk-on, now on scholarship, grew up just 15 minutes from Florence, going to all the Lions games, especially with his dad, Josh, having played for the program. Now, last week, Noah caught a huge touchdown with his dad watching from the tents on the field, and head coach Brent Dearman saying Gregg is a heck of a football player. He's got deep pride for the school, and he has developed into a great target for Destin Wade. Guys.
Thanks, Kendra. So we'll see the Govs come back out to answer this one. It's Blackwell who's playing all over today. Got banged up on that play. He needs some help getting off.
Yeah, they're carrying him off. He just needs to go down in a situation like that if he can't walk. But this is what happens, Barry. They kick it off that front line's foot, and then Blackwell, I don't know if his foot just got caught as he was trying to dive on, but usually you just kind of lay down there. Don't pull yourself up. It gives you a chance to get people in there, take care of you there.
All right, so the Govs, after that squib kick, they're going to have it great field position here at the 40. There's a jump, another point. Saying that he was drawn off that Austin Peay moved first. That's Ingram who was hopping up and down.
Snap infraction. Offense, number 52. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
That's our man, the center Chandler Curtin. What an honor. That graduate offensive lineman. He's been named a finalist for the 2025 William V. Campbell Trophy, basically the academic Heisman. And what an honor for this outstanding young man. That is big time. It was announced earlier this week, and Chris trying to get out of there, and he does somehow. Houdini, he keeps it alive with a stiff arm, and finally he's brought down. Wow. I think everybody in a white jersey had a shot at him there. Face mask, you were calling for it up here.
Yeah, that he got twisted around. Again, this is just a magic play for him to get away from this, but also got to give credit to Veely. He's the guy who gets back up after initially getting there, but you know what? Hats off, credit off. They're all to number 5, Robinson. He actually, from that angle, you can see he didn't grab that face mask. He did a really good job just to bring him down cleanly.
And Robinson's big time. Their top tackler. He is a good one. Stayed after, but Villy, man, he's like, man, I was tackling a ghost. How did he get away? Jackson Head with another catch in this game. Parson, of course, lost a lot of yardage on that play, but, man, the elusiveness to get free. Unreal.
It's going to bring a situation here, Barry. I would say, can you get a guy like Robinson at maybe one of those deep comeback routes to the sticks to try to get this open and still try to get it?
2 for 5 on third down are the Govs. Parson, he will get hit this time, and the ball came out, and the Lions are going to have it. He thought he was free. Coach Dearman was talking about his guys are getting upfield. They're getting past him, but coming back.
Is a fumble recovered by the defense. It's first down, North Alabama.
Coming back after that block, he hit him from behind, jarred the football loose, and the Lions able to pounce on it.
Yeah, and this is a big play. I don't think Ingram even got down on the ground to get it. It gets popped and bounces perfectly to number 44. The big man's able to just corral that one. Fantastic job by this defensive group. Number 17, that's Burkhalter, who initially punches that loose. And hey, now there's life in this Lions team. You scored that touchdown after the big miscue by the Governor's defense. And here you go for a chance. You're in good field position here to start. You're still down by 3 scores, but can you make something happen here?
Part of the Burkhalter brothers. You saw them in the screen there. Wade's going to go for it. Throws it up top. It's incomplete. There's some contact, but the contact really initiated by Scott, the receiver. Well, yeah, Christian Burkhalter with that sack. He's a high school 3-star athlete out of Mobile, transfer from UCLA and Georgia Tech, and his brother plays on the team as well, Bishop Burkhalter. They combined on a tackle earlier this year.
Barry, you know I'm a receivers coach all the way through, and I always try to give credit to the receivers. That should have been offensive PI. I mean, that was a complete shove to make sure the DB couldn't get the ball.
That's right. He's got a right to the football as well. In 2nd and 10, look right and then take off left is Wade. He's brought down by guess who? Montrez Smith. All this guy does is tackle people. Leading tackler on the team. Came in with 38 today, named to the Jerry Rice Award watch list. He is a good one. The transfer that played at Duke, was at Western Kentucky briefly, and good to see him in Austin Peay red this season. All right, here's the big 3rd down and 8 play. Can you come back after turning it over? The Austin Peay defense not quite in the red zone of the Lions, but they are on the prowl. As we'll see what Coach Dearman has dialed up for Destin Wade. His transfer quarterback from Colorado was with Coach Prime a year ago. Rifles one over the middle. It's caught by Piggies. Piggies, if he keeps his balance, he might have a shot at it, but he goes for the 1st down as he gets it inside the 10. A little tempo here for the Lions. They got to get set. They stack them up. 3 out to the left and rifle one out to Fields. Piggies, beg your pardon, had to catch it at his shoe tops, and nothing happening with number 31 on the scene.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a great job by Smith to get over there. But again, fantastic job on that last play by Piggies to get open. A lot of times what happens, I've mentioned this before, Austin Peay, they'll creep those safeties up and they kind of leave those seams open. That was just capitalizing on that. But then swinging this one again, one of the issues that I saw, Barry, on that last play is, again, Wade's throwing it behind his receivers.
Yep.
They're having a hard time to swing their body back around by the time the defense is already there.
Ball at the 12 on 2nd down. Wade's going to roll out to his right. He's going to throw back. Gets it to the tight end. He's got a lead blocker, and he'll get brought down inside the 5. Caleb Heatherly caught a touchdown a week ago at home against the Colonels of EKU. Thought for a moment the big fella might have enough real estate there, but the Govs able to shut it down.
Well, Heatherly's built like a left tackle, man. He's a big guy. Hats off to Hanley to just kind of jump on there and to kind of ride the ride down there for a second, because that's a big dude to try to get a tackle on.
So it's 3rd down, and the Govs are going to burn a timeout here.
Timeout. Austin Peay, their first of the half.
With the ball at
media
the 5.
Timeout.
And it will be a media break, so we're going to take one with them. 5:45 to go. The action is picked up here in Clarksville. Govs trying to keep the Lions out of the end zone after the turnover here on ESPN+.
I feel like USC football is grit, determination, and fight, because we got a lot of great teams in our conference.
I believe that there's guys all in this conference who can go play at the next level.
USC football is big-time football. A lot of great teams, a lot of good competition.
It's the most competitive conference, I think, in FCS football, and it's home to me.
It's competitive, it's exciting, it's a league to watch.
Anybody can win on any given week, so you better come prepared.
UAC football is nothing but competition. Endless fights, endless battles, endless wins, losses.
I think it's one of the top, if not the top, FCS football conference in the nation.
UAC football, to me, means rivalries and games every single year, multiple games that I circle on the calendar that I know are going to be so much fun, because it's always nitty and gritty with them.
You're gonna love Matthews Nissan. Listen to our customers.
My family loves Matthews Nissan. Over the past 3 years, we've purchased 10 vehicles. From the moment I walked in the door here, I always felt like I was part of the family. I've always been treated so well by everyone. At Matthews Nissan, you feel like family. They're very professional, and there's no pressure. I've shopped around, and I know I've saved a good bit of money in my times coming to Matthews Nissan.
Matthews Nissan, where your satisfaction is our #1 priority.
Austin Peay's defense taking that timeout with the Lions after a turnover, knocking on the door. They're at the 5-yard line, awaiting a 3rd and goal play at the 5. There's A.J. Ellis, his former team, the Dodgers, in the World Series, looking to bounce back tonight after a loss to the Blue Jays in Game 1. A.J., the longtime great catcher in the majors, most of that time, of course, with the Dodgers.
Caught for a guy named Clayton Kershaw, huh?
That's it, not bad.
Pretty good company to know that you were the catcher for one of the best ever throw a baseball.
Definite Hall of Famer.
Yeah, for certain.
Dodgers, the heavy favorite, but they're backs against the wall tonight in Game 2 in Toronto. Can they bounce back? 3rd and goal from the 5. Wade's going to roll out. Gets a block from his tight end. He wants to throw, and he's got a man wide open for the touchdown. Amari Rogers, his 2nd catch of the year, and Rogers found himself wide open in the end zone, and the Lions cash in after the turnover.
Well, these tight ends for North Alabama could play guard, man. They're big guys. We saw Heatherly out there and now Rogers. Those guys are built, man. It's hard to take those guys down or tackle them. And Amari Rogers, you would think that he wouldn't be. You saw how big he was. You would think he wouldn't be someone that would get lost in all the junk. But there he was, wide open in the end zone.
6 plays, just 27 yards after the sack, strip sack, and fumble, as Dixon will hit the PAT. 35-21 after the touchdown pass from Wade to Rogers. And with 5:39 to go in this 3rd quarter, there's still a ton of time. And as we get a look at it here, I thought he was going to try to lead block and maybe lead him in. Man, nobody even within the zip code for Rogers.
Great vision by Wade. How about that block by Heatherly? Absolutely leveled the Governors on that little rollout. And then you're right, Rogers is just all alone.
Well, you know, we saw him do that kind of squib kick that hit a Gov earlier. Coach Dearman rolling out all the stops, and you look at the stats, and all of a sudden 318 yards of offense. And these Lions have ran 58 plays. Of course, Austin Peay has had the big play today, but 58 offensive plays to 35. Gov's up prepared for anything on this. They do have Bond back if they decide to kick it deep and he doesn't get all of it. If he chooses to lay into it, it is Vachon. And he does attempt to kick it deep, but not deep enough. At the 2 is number 2. And Bond, did that knee go down? He stayed up. And Bond turns just a little, maybe a 10-yard return. You look up and he's at the 41. Able to stay up, kind of stumbled just a bit there, and he kept that knee up. We'll see it here.
Man, what a return by number 2, and you just see the craftiness. It's up. He was good. Has everybody trying to figure it out, and then finally a saving tackle.
He's so good the turf monster can't even bring him down. I mean, he stops there, puts the hand down. Huge return, providing the Govs the short field again. But you think back, the last series they had it right here at the 40 as well. After that kick hit an up man for Austin Peay, that squib kick.
After a quick review, it's been determined that the runner's knee was down at the 19-yard line. It'll be first down, Austin Peay.
All right, they did a quick review. I thought we did a quick review. I guess you and I are headed to the eye doctor.
Was the quick review done in New York? I don't understand. It was down. They're good on that one.
Yeah, good call.
I never saw them bring anything out to review, though. I don't understand what the quick review was. How does that work?
Yep, just there.
To review, you have to look at it. I don't know who looked at it. Like I said, I guess New York's calling into Clarksville today.
And you see it hit just barely. We were fooled on that first replay. You got to really slow it down to catch Bond. But the correct call made. And the Govs go to the ground to Cortland Simmons.
Simmons is going to be huge here in this third quarter and the remainder of this game. He's going to be a guy that you really rely on. This offensive line is going to have to dig deep because if you're Austin Peay, you still have a 2-touchdown lead here. You're up by 14. You need to make sure that you're doing your best to try to get the most positive yards. Take your time. You don't have to hurry this up. You don't have to play to North Alabama's pace. You have to play to your pace with the lead like this.
Back to the ground. Simmons just driving the feet, will not go down.
Hey, I always love a good game when you could just run the football and take away the clock. That's that may not be the flashiest thing, and people at home might hate me for saying that, but man, if you can run the football well and sustain a big drive here, especially up by 2 scores, you can take a lot of this clock away and eventually punch it in, man. That's what you want to do if you're Austin Peay here.
May not be flashy, but it's good for job security. Out to Maxwell Kamari. Flag's going to come flying in. Maxwell's brought down at the 40, but we'll wait and see. 10 penalties today, 7 by Austin Peay, 3 by the Lions.
Area of holding out there on the outside by one of the receivers.
Holding. Offense number 88. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Barry, now this is where I am going to stick up for the receivers. I did not like that call. His hands are inside. More than anything, it's just him selling it on that outside. I think that, and also the flag coming in very late. If that's the call, then it needs to be called early when you're seeing it happen. Don't let the play get past that position and then you throw the flag in.
It was actually on 80. Our referee, Chris Bryson, said 88. So on Randolph, the Govs would love to stay on the ground, as you mentioned. Richardson with the carry to keep that clock moving. There's again 58 offensive plays by UNA. His defense has been on the field a lot today despite this big lead, and they're losing guys. They've got players going out to injury. They started the day with 2 key players out. We've already seen the nickelback, Chase Allen, for Austin Peay, will not be back in the second half. So you need a sustained drive here instead of maybe a big play drive. It sounds crazy to say, but run some clock. They're definitely attempting to do that on the ground. Back to Richardson.
3rd and short here. But again, I think this is another chance. Just run the football here if you're Austin Peay. Get your offensive line, sustain your blocks, get up to the second level. But at this point, you just really need to get a yard. I mean, that's where you just need to get one of these big guys in there. Bring in Pell, bring in some of those big tight ends, and let them get the blocks for you here if you're Austin Peay.
3rd and a yard from their own 41. Parson will come up under center, and he will sneak it. They're listening to Coach Schmidt up here, and it looks like they're going to get the first down. Yep, we see the official running in from that far side, top of the screen. And more importantly, if you're Jeff Ferris, we continue to see that clock tick. So up to the 42. In this 35, now 21 game. Getting a little bit tighter after that turnover cashed in for points by the Lions a moment ago. Parson this time will try some play action. All day to throw. Just goes underneath, dumps it off. The Lions right there. As Bond will make the catch. And Robinson, another tackle. Another big day for him.
They were looking for the shot on the far side, and it just wasn't there. You end up getting 2 players in the same spot, and Pell and Bond there. Bond does come down with it, but again, I think you can't look for that deep ball. You still need to try to swing some of these short routes and see if you can't get guys open like that.
Parson moves Bond around. He signals up to his receivers top of the screen, and they're going to give it to Javius. Javius, if he gets the corner, and he will, he'll just scamper out of bounds after he gets the first down. Up to the 45 now of the Lions in plus territory.
One of the things that we're seeing from some of these blockers up front, when they're getting beat, a lot of times what happens, you'll see a guy get that push in the back. They've done a really good job by Austin Peay by disengaging when that happens and just letting your running backs continue to get those yardage and using their quickness to get around the edge.
Parson back to the ground to Bond. Javius was hit in the backfield, but he will lunge his way forward, pick up a couple to the 46. Now they're going to spot it back, so no gain on first down.
Big Walter Goggins got in there and made that play. You see him coming off the field now. With that D-line, man, there's some big physical guys on that D-line, and now, Barry, it looks like they're going to go a little bit quicker with that defensive line group in right now.
Parson directing a lot of traffic, and he will split out. Bond now from the backfield. Get Javius singled up at the top of your screen. He'll stop and look back, but Parson wanting to go deep, and he will for Kirk. Will they hook up again? Kirk in traffic makes the play between two defenders. Shamar Kirk and Parson hook up again for another Austin Peay touchdown.
Catch of the year by Shamar Kirk. Around two guys. How about it? 13. Make a play. He's had 2 previous touchdowns. The third now coming on that one, but that was absolutely sensational. I thought he was going to get maybe a PI call, get bailed out on something like that. And he says, I don't need the flags. I'm just going to catch the football. Wow, what a fantastic play by number 13. And to get the Governors back up again here and a chance to go at 42-21.
Incredible play. He takes over the touchdown lead with his third of the day. All 6 of his TDs coming here at the Fort as the PAT makes it 42-21. And UNA secondary just got mossed here. This play is phenomenal. Parson all day to throw, had all the underneath routes. He said, I'm going up big, and what an adjustment by Shamar Kirk. Big time play. Here's another great look.
How about our guy Marcus down there in the end zone cam? Shout out
Austin
to Marcus.
Peay, number 9, is reporting as number 58.
Hey, you know what, Barry? You do a show with the comm department called Tuesday Tailgate. If it was going on this week, I have your You Got Cooked segment.
Exactly.
For certain. That was a beauty by Shamar Kirk. And, hey, you as a defender, you're doing everything right. You have your hands up. You're doing everything that you possibly can. Sometimes guys just make so much better plays.
Correction, number 58.
We might have to send that one off to Randy Moss.
9.
Adam, clip that one for us. Send it over, man.
That was Moss-esque. 47-yard strike from Parson to Kirk. What an adjustment on the football. And Chris he had multiple guys open.
Just got the message in. How about this one? First Governor with 3 touchdown catches since Jaden Barnes did it last year against the North Alabama Lions.
Kicked into the end zone.
And a little personal note, how about shout out Shamar Kirk? He got engaged this week too.
Having a big week.
Hey, that's a big week, man.
He is having a monster day, a career day for him.
I didn't catch 3 touchdowns on my engagement week. I don't know about you.
The touchdowns for the transfer from Miami, 3 today, 6 all coming again here at home. Loves playing in Forterra Stadium.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, receiving team, number 27, half the distance to the goal, first down.
And another streak continues. 6 straight games for Chris Parson for a rushing touchdown. Last Gov to have 5 straight games. Javon Jackson did it back in the 2023 UAC championship team. What a catch. We've seen some big plays today. It's been a fun game despite the score. The Lions, though, have certainly not rolled over. They continue to fight here in the second half. But that was the highlight of the day of many highlights. We've seen the great speed of Bond, but Shamar Kirk and Chris Parson have hooked up big time today. None better than that last catch That'll wrap up the third quarter. 42-21. Austin Peay. It's Chris Parson all day to throw into double coverage. Who cares? Kirk goes up, makes the play, and the Govs rolling here on homecoming. Well, 3 catches today for Shamar Kirk. All 3 have ended up in the end zone. 3 big touchdowns for him. The fans enjoying this homecoming day. Govs have doubled up the Lions 42-21 as we get set to start this fourth quarter. As we take a look at the 2 quarterbacks today, their numbers so far. Wade's got a touchdown pass and a rushing touchdown, and Parson another big day for him. As Wade throws here on first down, he'll get it to Allen, and we want to check in back down on the field again with Kendra.
Good news for Austin Peay fans. Linebacker Davion Blackwell, who went down in the third quarter, who was taken to the medical tent and then later into the locker room. He had his right cleat removed. He couldn't put a ton of weight on his foot, but I have confirmed he's getting retaped, and we should expect to see him here in this fourth quarter. Guys?
Okay, Kendra, thank you very much. It's been a hard-hitting game. We've seen some guys get banged up in this one for both teams. Wade keeps it on the ground this time, and Destin going all the way after a quarterback battle through much of the season. He's hung in there today and keeps coming back. You got to tip your hat to these guys. They have continued to fight. It's just been the big play. They struggle defensively as they are last in the conference against the pass, and it's reared its ugly head today for their defense. this one up, and here's a big-time catch, pulled down. Tanaka Scott at 6'5", he goes up the ladder, the transfer from Kansas. And despite some erratic throws, Wade has hit some big plays today.
Yeah, this is a beauty right here by Scott. I mean, that's high point the ball, and number 2 goes up and makes sure he brings that one down. That was a fantastic job by the receiver. Again, a little high ball, but to go up for it and get it at the very top of the high point.
33 yards on that hook up, and here he's going to hit Gregg. Noah Gregg is turning into one of his favorite targets on the year. Ellis right there after he makes the grab, but 2 quick chunk plays for this UNA offense, and they've continued to gash Austin Peay here in the second half. Wade doing it through the air. Wade looking right all the way, throws, catch made by Noah Gregg again. He's bottled up, not going anywhere this time.
Yeah, Gregg should have turned out towards the sidelines instead of trying to turn back into the meat of the defense there, Barry. That's a dangerous spot. That's where all the help is. That's where all the other red jerseys are. You always want to try to turn away from that contact. It was thrown so he would turn up the sideline.
6th catch of the day for the redshirt freshman. They come after Wade, make him throw it before he wanted to. Incomplete. As the Govs got some pressure. Jalen Williams, who's been big. Again, he's in for Chase Allen, who's out.
Yeah, he came in there cleanly, and all Wade could do is sidearm that and try to throw it as fast as possible. I mean, he threw a fastball right through there. His receiver couldn't catch up to it, but this is a big 3rd down here for the Govs defense.
Third and 5 from the Austin Peay 10. Wade with Allen in the backfield. Bottom of your screen, it's Ellis and Gregg. He's going to go the other way. Lofts this one up, and there's a little contact, no call. Manley, Raylan able to hang in there.
Fields is going to stay down. I think it might be something like a cramp.
For an injured offensive player.
He's trying to go up for this, and again, he has an argument there, right? I mean, you see the jersey getting pulled. Fields wants that call, but he tried to get up and argue, and then you saw him immediately drop back down. I think he jumped up too quickly from the ground. Sometimes when that happens, cramp up a little bit.
Timeout. Media.
So we will take a break as Fields will get stretched out. The Lions knocking on the door again, but trailing big, 42-21. Well, KJ Fields able to get up, head to his bench. You see that Austin Peay defense. They're going to try to come up with a big 4th down stop. as the Lions have it at their own 11. Here's Austin Peay's remaining 4 games coming up. Big trip to Utah a week from today. We've got 2 home games back-to-back. Central Arkansas stepping out of the conference against Samford. Then the big one to wrap things up at Tarleton State. Who knows, the next 4 weeks, if you're Austin Peay, if you're able to run the table, that could be an awfully big game if someone can finally beat the Texans.
Yeah, absolutely. You might sneak yourself into a playoff spot if that's the case. I think right now, as long as the Govs continue to kind of stay in that rankings in the top 25, good possibility they get there anyway, but there can't really be any slip-ups along the way, Barry. You need those wins against teams in your conference. You need that win at Southern Utah. You need that win at home when you come back against Central Arkansas. Those are still 2 tough opponents in this conference. And again, to have to go to Utah, that's a big trip for you.
Lions 1 for 2 on 4th down. Wade throws, and it is caught for the touchdown. Nice grab. Tanaka Scott made the big play, big time catch on this drive to get the Lions down to the red zone. And he comes through at 6'5", 215. He just in there blocking out for the rebound, and Wade put it right on him.
Yeah, number 2. I mean, that's a big body there. That's a big receiver to make that happen. Man, what a great pitching catch there. It's just a slant, and it's hard to guard slants when you're in the red zone like that. As a DB, your mindset is, okay, are they going to try to go fade on me, or are they going to slant? Scott reaches out first to try to draw that fade route and then comes back in on the slant. Ellis is there defensively, but you mentioned it. Scott is such a big body.
Govs got in there but hold everything. We were waiting on the Ellis block kick of the day, and we almost had it.
Offside. Defense, number 1, unabated. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
Well, he blocked a field goal here against Utah Tech. And then the last time we were here, home game, he blocked a PAT against West Georgia. Rishi Rattan, the man, scooped it and went 94 yards for a 2-point conversion. Ellis tried to time that one, but just a little early on that one.
The penalty is going to be declined. We'll still replay the try.
Well, it's still 12:47 to go. This will get it to a 2-score game. Again, the Lions just keep coming. And again, he'll get the block. They're not going to throw the flag is out. So this will be coming back. It's scooped up this time and going the other way, but this one's going to come back. Raylan Manley, the beneficiary of the block by Ellis, but they got to run all the way back as that flag did come out again.
Offside. Defense. Number 1. Half the distance to the goal. Replay the try.
He keeps asking, do you want it or decline it? We see him again. He's early, but he's in there almost before the ball touches the holder.
And here comes a 2-point try.
Been waiting for that. They are 1 for 3 on 2-point conversions. When you're going to put the ball that close, do you try it? Why not? You get a couple of scores. You could some stops.
They were trying to call for him, but offense, this is one of those issues that sometimes you run into when you're looking at your coaching staff and looking down the line. You're calling for your offense to get out there, but they're all over here. Barry's sitting down trying to catch their breath after a long drive. They're not paying attention to what's going on, which causes the issue. You get a chance maybe for a 2-point try, but instead you can't get him out there in time, and now you have to try to bring it and hope that number 1 doesn't get it this time.
Well, will 2 times do it 3 times? We'll see here. He was leaning, but he held back, and here comes a flag. I think they're going to count this one, and we'll move on, hopefully.
Offside. Defense number 1. That penalty is declined. The try is good.
Yep. We can head to break now as that one will be declined. Point after is good. 42-28. Lions not headed back home yet. They keep fighting back in this one on ESPN+. Well, the Lions have scored again, 42-28. Austin Peay can't put this in the win column just yet. Let's go back down to the field. Visit with our sideline reporter, Kendra Sheehan.
Thanks, Barry. Nobody has more fun than Shamar Kirk. That's what head coach Jeff Ferris told me about his wide receiver. He said if you asked Kirk where his favorite place in the world was, he would say this football field right here. They call him Mr. Personality for a reason. He brings the energy, he brings the intensity, and he brings a consistent work ethic day in and day out. There's a reason he's making big plays here tonight, guys.
Thanks, Kendra. He certainly loves this stadium. All 6 of his touchdown catches have come here at home as Austin Peay tries to stay unbeaten here in the fort this year. 80th homecoming today. Austin Peay 31, 47-1 through the years. They've played UNA once for homecoming. They got the victory over the Lions. Govs have won 5 of their last 8 homecoming games, and we'll again see if Coach Dearman wants to try something with his kickoff. His team just 2 scores back. Still a ton of time, 12:47 to go. Both teams with all of their timeouts in this 14-point game. And he will pop this one up for Robinson. Robinson will make the catch and try to head to the boundary with it. Get your good hands team out there on special teams.
Robinson's a big guy. That's why he didn't call for that fair catch. But, man, if that had been me out there, Barry, you would have seen that arm fly up immediately when that ball was kicked into the sky. That's a nice little squib kick or a little just trying to get over that front line where you saw the Governors had several players up there. But, man, for Jaden Robinson not to just say, hey, I'm going to throw my hand up, because if he gets hit before he can catch it, it's kick-catch interference, right? And that's a very brave man in Jaden Robinson.
You see the numbers on Kirk. 3 catches, all 3 touchdowns. Phenomenal catch a moment ago in double coverage.
Illegal substitution. Offense, 12 players in formation. 5-yard penalty, first down.
All right, that's penalty number 10 today. And you know, I think back we were here a couple of weeks ago in the West Georgia game. That was the one issue, despite a incredible performance, was the penalties. Can ill afford a quick 3 and out because of penalty. Got to get back to playing, ratchet it back up. And here's Isaiah Groves with the with the carry. You know, you can almost throttle it down. We talked about wanting to run the football and run some clock, but that opponent who will not quit, who keeps fighting back, you got to keep playing. You mentally got to be locked in. Back to Groves, going to reverse field. And nice contain that time of the Lions and their fans that made the trip below us in the press box. They like what they see in the second half.
Yeah,
nice performance.
Groves just has to cut that up and try to get yards instead of trying. I mean, he had a good cut back, but then he gets sideways there. He's got to get vertical in that situation. You can see it leads to a big loss because he doesn't.
Anthony Young up with a stop, the corner. Well, you can't ill afford to give it right back here on a 3rd and 13. See what Quinn Billerman and Jeff Ferris have dialed up. And the grab is made. Caden Williams out of the backfield.
You have him short.
Yeah, just a little short as he made the grab over at the Austin Peay sideline. And you got a 4th and a short 2, but you got the ball at your own 41. Nice grab by Caden. Finished the catch. Big punt time, though, for Logan Leftrig. This is everything you wanted. Brock Caraboa's defense. You get the 3 and out as your offense is starting to put points on the board. As this one's going to take a friendly bounce on the turf here. Roll dead at about the 16. But the defense comes right back out, minus some guys that are banged up and out. As you see some of the numbers, those total yards have tightened up. Each team's put up some big yardage today. We're going to head to a break. 42-28, Austin Peay, but the Lions get the football right back. Still 11:15 to play here from Clarksville on ESPN+.
You're going to love Matthews Nissan. Listen to our customers.
My family loves Matthews Nissan. Over the past 3 years, we've purchased 10 vehicles. From the moment I walked in the door here, I always felt like I was part of the family. I've always been treated so well by everyone. At Matthews Nissan, you feel like family. They're very professional, and there's no pressure. I've shopped around, and I know I've saved a good bit of money in my times coming to Matthews Nissan.
Matthews Nissan, where your satisfaction is our #1 priority.
In the UAC, we value sportsmanship on the field and in the stands.
We take pride in playing fair and being honest.
We honor the game by showing respect for our opponents,
the officials,
the fans, and our team.
Great sportsmanship is about taking ownership after a loss
and being humble after a win.
We want you to team up with us by staying positive on the sidelines.
Because great sportsmanship is what unites us.
We are
United Athletic Conference.
Hey Govs fans, I'm Ryan Harper, your trusted local realtor with Byers & Harvey and a proud former Austin Peay student athlete. Born and raised here in Stashville, I know the area like the back of my hand. From Sango to Fort Campbell and everywhere between, whether you're buying or selling or exploring your options, I'm here to guide you every step of the way. Call me today, and as always, let's go Peay.
Well, the North Alabama Lions have outscored Austin Peay 21-14 in the second half after the Govs had a commanding 28-7 lead at the break. There's those numbers again, a total yardage. Both teams well over the 400-yard mark as Destin Wade's thrown for almost 200 yards here in the second half. And That clock's just not moving. 11:15 to go in a two-score game. Can the Austin Peay defense rise up, get another stop? They did get an interception. For that defense, they got their 4th pick of the year.
You know, Barry, this is eerily similar to 2 years ago on homecoming against North Alabama, a game where Austin Peay led at one point 32-6. The final score ended up being 49-39.
On the keeper, Wade with a nice run. One of his better runs outside of that untouched on that 31-yard touchdown run.
Offside, defense, number 17. The penalty is declined. The result of the play is the first down.
I thought they'd get Davion Hood eventually there, Barry. He's been fairly close, and you'll watch him lean, but watch him leave just a bit early on that one. Again, that's what forces the quarterback up inside the pocket, and then a good run by him.
Quick hit. After the catch caught, it's Scott again who caught the touchdown a moment ago. A lot of connections with the Kansas Jayhawks with Brent Dearman. He was an offensive coordinator there and has had kind of that transfer pipeline to Lawrence. Several guys on this roster played at Kansas first. Wade throws, gets rid of it, just throws it away before he got decked and a little slow to get up. See Jeff Ferris and that Austin Peay coaching staff as defensive coordinator Greg Jones needs a stop. 3rd down and 4 from their own 35. Can they make this a one-score game if they can sustain a drive at the 10:30 mark of the 4th quarter? Coming off their best win of the year, their first D1 win. They won at home last week. Did these Lions over Eastern Kentucky. You see the numbers for Wade. Again, the transfer from Kentucky, spent last year with Coach Prime in Colorado. And they go to the ground with Allen. Here come the flags. Helmet pops off of KJ Fields. That's Manley that was being pulled out of there as well. Got to keep your cool here late.
I think back to a 3rd down where Manley got called for the pass interference that he didn't need to do as a high ball that was well over him. And now if this one gets called against him, Manley, they're going to replace him, and that's smart that you should do. But Will Middleton, you could see the frustration because he knew that they had stopped and they made a good play on 3rd down. They were 4th and 4.
After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, offense, number 10. After the play was over, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 7. Those fouls all set. The down counts. It's 4th down.
So they both get popped with it as they went at it. Manley and Fields, here we go. They just kept playing after the whistle. Here comes the helmet.
Number 10 may remain in the game due to the foul on the helmet.
That usually never gets called. I mean, you see Manley, usually the receiver gets the benefit of those calls. Usually they give it to just the defensive player. I think this officiating crew just doesn't want this to get chippy here late.
Well, they offset, so it is 4th down and 2. Fields can stay in because of that penalty despite the helmet coming off. Can the Govs get another stop on 4th down? They desperately need it here, and Coach Dearman, he knows this is big if he's got any chance.
Prior to the delay of game, timeout, North Alabama, their first 30-second timeout.
He takes that first timeout of the second half as that play clock was running down. So now 4th and 2 as they huddle up with their head coach. What's the call here, Coach Smith, on 4th and 2, and a must-have for these Lions if they've got any shot of trying to tie this thing up. 9:55 to go, down 2 scores.
I think you put the ball in number 6's hands. I really do. I think that you have an option here with Wade and with your man Juice back there. I think that's a big, if you can get him going one way and see if the quarterback reads it well. Austin Peay's going to bring some pressure on you here. I think that the best bet, though, is trusting the guy that's been your main guy, your main offensive weapon, and number 6 there, Allen. And see if Juice can't get you a first down here. You can't throw one behind him. That's the big thing. You got some good receivers, but you can't throw that back shoulder behind the line because the Govs have done a great job to get stops on those.
2 for 3 on 4th down are the Lions. They need one here out of the timeout. Juice is back there with Wade. He looks, throws, and batted down. Almost picked off. He read it beautifully, but able to bat that one down for Austin Peay. DeAndre Creary comes through. He's had some big plays today. This secondary's banged up, and some guys have stepped up in a big way.
They try to go long on the outside, short on the inside. And you can just see Creary jump that one perfectly. Again, Barry, I still think your option game has gotten you yards every time you've ran it. In my opinion, I still think you try to run a little RPO there, or you try to get maybe something with your running back to try to draw the defense up and then hit them maybe across the middle if that's your choice. But that's just a great stand by Austin Peay nonetheless.
Govs get their second 4th down stop today. Parson with Bond in the backfield. And Parsons going to keep it, and Chris is going to go into the end zone on an absolutely beautiful fake. Parsons scores again, just what this Austin Peay team needed, and the dance party starts again in the end zone.
Man, that's just perfection by Chris Parsons. He's gone 6 straight games with a rushing score. Give him 2 tonight. I mean, number 3, you talked about Mike DeLillo being in the house. He's got to be impressed with number 3, who's been someone that just, we talked about what he's meant to Coach Ferris, and Coach Ferris knowing him since he was 14 years old and seeing him at passing camps, and then to watch him today and watch him this season all along for Austin Peay has been absolutely phenomenal. But, man, he reads that to perfection, pulls that RPO, or pulls that on the option there and just takes off to the house. Watch it again. Everybody goes with Bond. Everybody. One man to beat, and he does it. And then it's just smooth sailing for number 3.
And how many one-play scoring drives have we seen tonight by this Austin Peay offense?
I was sitting here earlier, Barry, and I was like, well, player of the week in the UAC, maybe Shamar Kirk, maybe Chris Parsons. If you're listening, UAC, just give it co-offensive players here, man. This has been phenomenal. Watch these two.
Very impressive, and it's just what the doctor ordered. Complimentary football on a 4th and 2. Get a big-time play. DeAndre Creary gets a deflection. You give it right back to your offense on a short field, and in one play, Chris Parson goes 37 yards for the touchdown. For Chris, his 2nd rushing TD of the day and his 9th on the year. He came in 3rd in the conference with those 7 rushing TDs. He's added 2 more to the list today, and he's thrown for 3 touchdowns, all to Kirk. Now 14 TDs on the season for Chris Parson. And he's trying to finally beat Destin Wade. They went at it in high school. And Destin got the best of him. Summit against Ravenwood 2 times, but in college, trying to get bragging rights is Chris Parson.
Yeah, and you talk about the state of Tennessee. Ravenwood is always a traditional powerhouse. You see them all year long. They have a great program, and obviously Chris Parsons is a guy who was fantastic at a Ravenwood program, but during the time that Destin Wade was at Summit, Barry, they were a hard team to beat. They had a couple of had some twin brothers there at points. I mean, there was just some really good Summit teams, and you can see why these two guys are playing on Saturday against each other.
So Wade back out there after unable to convert on 4th down. He sees his counterpart Parsons scamper into the end zone. He's running here for his life, throws it away. He'll live to see another down, 2nd down coming up. But you're right, Destin Wade, the 6A Tennessee Mr. Football, a 4-star. His senior year, he rushed for 30 touchdowns, passed for 18. Mark Stoops got him at Kentucky and Lexington and played behind Will Levis, but got the start his freshman year in the Music City Bowl. Kentucky played Iowa at Nissan Stadium and had a 2-0 mark against Parson, as we mentioned, in high school. But he's got some work to do here to keep that mark unblemished. 9:34 to go. Wade rifles one incomplete. Here comes a flag in. They're going to say Greg was held.
Pass interference, defense, automatic, first down.
I like this Noah Gregg, what we've seen of him today at 6'3", 180, the redshirt freshman, again a walk-on a year ago. He's been impressive.
They're just going to get that on Ellis. Just had his arm wrapped around him.
Penalties, again, the issue. It's 11 penalties, 88 yards, Austin Peay. They came in averaging 8 penalties a game for about 70 yards, but over that mark today, that will not please this coaching staff. Pass, tough catch. Piggy's hung in there. We normally see him outside the numbers or on a jet sweep, but he made a tough catch and paid for it.
Yeah, Redding comes up and delivers a big shot there, but you talked about a guy, I mean, Piggy's was our player to watch from North Alabama, and he's definitely been on target tonight. He's had some really good catches in this one.
We hit the 9-minute mark, and Wade still throwing. Catch made. Juice Allen out of the backfield will get up to the 40. Knocks the sticks down, but he's going to be about 3 yards shy. Second and a short 3, we'll call it, from the Austin Peay 40. You're so right. I was trying to think back which game that was, but it was the last time the Lions were here. Austin Peay threatened to just blow them right off the field. Flags come out on this play.
False start, offense, number 51, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That's the 5th penalty on the Lions today, but the Govs got that huge lead, but UNA just kept playing.
Yeah.
Got it to a 1-score game late until Austin Peay got away with a field goal to make it a 10-point win.
Automatics.
Trio
hit one with a minute 11 left.
Wade throws, and there's a grab. Again, trying to go to Scott.
Pass interference, defense, automatic, first down.
They're going to get Redding. Again, he's getting the start today. Miles Wiley is out. Chase Allen was hurt in the first half. Had a lot of guys see some big snaps in this one, and that was an easy call to make.
Yeah, it completely took him off course, and anybody's going to call that. And that back judge does a great job of getting the flag in there and letting it know. Corey Redding has had a great night. Just getting the foul there, getting that penalty thrown on him.
Penalty number 12 on Austin Peay. 5 on the Lions. Wade looking left all the way, and that's been his issue today. And I think with Destin, where he'll continue to work is technique. He's got that big arm, but that lower body's got to be in sync with it. Quite a few have sailed on him, and Coach Dearman mentioned at the half to Kendra that they had some plays, and he did have receivers open early in the game when they needed to try to match Austin Peay, and he just could not keep the sticks moving. Missed several throws. Little crosser. And they're going to get the first down. Piggies will come through. The chains will move.
And again, you know, you have to hurry up here if you're North Alabama. You know, you're down several scores, but you're doing a really good job of not only getting these passes to go and getting open, but also drawing these fouls.
Wade goes incomplete, trying to go back to Scott. That'll stop the clock, 8:04 to go.
One thing that I'm looking at, and I'm kind of watching the offensive line here, Barry, because obviously they're, you know, these are the guys that struggle a little bit when they're having to get work done and they're in these long drives like this. Starting to see a lot of those punches to the face or getting up near the face mask. I don't know if the judges are seeing it, but that might be something we see called here late.
Set up a screen to Juice Allen. He'll get knocked out. Ellis involved in the play. Going to bring up third down, a 3rd and long. Inside the red zone of the Lions. Trying to keep pace. Clock becoming the factor now. 7:45 to go. They do have 2 timeouts, but that big rushing touchdown by Chris Parson you thought might break their back, but they just keep hammering away. Trying to get points on the board. Steps up, throws, and picked off. Govs are going to get the pick as they'll get Wade Montrez Smith Jr. named this week to the Jerry Rice Award watch list. He keeps adding to his accolades. He read him beautifully. Look at his numbers tonight. Just keeps adding to it.
We talked about earlier in this one, we saw Scott go up and high point a ball. How about Montrez here? Just he's going to watch this when he rolls out, steps up, high points the ball, and then he could have taken a knee in the end zone. That's fine. No, he runs it out a little bit and almost gets a touchback. He's about 4 yards off of where the touchback would be, but man, Montrez, what a play just to go up for it. And, you know, at that point, he could have stepped up and he could have tried to take that one away. Would have led to a touchdown there. He does a really great job of delaying himself and realizing, okay, there's someone that snuck behind me, and goes up and gets a big interception.
So give it back to the Austin Peay offense, and bouncing off a tackle. Cortland Simmons still on his feet. He's in the middle of the field now at the 50, still getting lead blocks out there. Is anybody going to put a hand on him? He's finally tripped up. At the 22-yard line, Cortland Simmons with a fantastic run for the Govs.
It's been a quiet night for Cortland Simmons, right? We're used to him having these big explosive plays like this. We're so used to seeing it, but he does such a great job when he can get loose. How about him just getting this one, gets the handoff, takes off, he follows his blockers, he kind of directs his blockers around with his hand. But Cortland Simmons, that's the reason why he's one of my players to watch a lot of times, Barry, is he's a guy that can establish himself as a really good lead back for Austin Peay.
62-yard run for Simmons. How about the big fella, Eli Sutton? He was rumbling, bumbling, and stumbling, moving people. The Austin Peay Moving Company. And Simmons just kept running. So many big plays in this game. We talked about the one-play scoring drives, and just when you think you might be content to run some clock, and I think they would have, he bounces off a tackle and goes almost the distance on that huge run of 62 yards.
Moves him up to 81, right behind Javius Bond.
And despite that, Bond is at 96 yards. The Govs have not had a 100-yard rusher in a game this year. Started to say until now, as Bond's going to get a touch, but gets to the outside, just 4 yards away from hitting 100. It's going to get one on this 3rd and 9, a ball at the 20. So the Govs are going to enter the red zone, trying to get over the 50-point mark. They can punch it in here and nail this one down to stay unbeaten at home and stay right in the thick of this race, but more importantly, stay in the thick of the playoff race. Chris will keep it here as he starts to cut back. He's finally brought down at about the 12.
Tackled by Goggins there. Again, that D-line just having to retrace their steps a lot of times once Parsons gets by them, and they're the ones that are eventually getting there to make the tackles.
So it looks like 4th and a long 2, we'll call it. The ball just inside that 15 at the 14. 4th and a very long 1. It's closer to 2. And Parsons going to throw for it. It's caught. And a tackle made as Jackson Head was headed for that end zone. Nice tackle to keep him out of there, but a first down, which is more important than anything right now to keep the clock moving.
Just a little shoot route, gets a good rub there on the outside, then Head's able to get open, and, man, he's not afraid to put his body on the line, is he, Barry? We've seen him go up in the air twice now to try to get extra yards and just getting flipped sometimes when he does it, but that's catch number 5 on the night now for Jackson Head. He's had a fantastic night of just being open at the right time and being an effective target for number 3.
First and goal from the 6 for the Govs. It will be Simmons. Had the big run on this series. And Simmons out of the Middle Tennessee area, played at Davidson Academy from Madison. No gain, we'll call it. So second and goal from the 6 for Austin Peay. Three receivers at the top of your screen. Parson with a little shake. He's going to roll out. Chris looking to throw, throws back, and he'll throw it incomplete. Looking for Maxwell. So third and goal. It does stop the clock. The incomplete pass with 2:47 to go. So the Govs this year at home, they put up 56 on Morehead State, 42 on Utah Tech, 44 on West Georgia. And they've hung 49 on the Lions so far in this one. And will they get more on third and goal from the 6? Play clock at 2. At 1, he gets it off, or does he? Or did the timeout come in?
Timeout. North Alabama, their second. 30 seconds.
All right, so UNA saves a delay of game there. It was coming. Play clock was down to 1. That'll leave the Lions with just 1 timeout. Govs do have all 3 of theirs. As you wait this third and goal play from the 6, and the Lions of UNA unable to put back-to-back wins together, but they're starting to turn the corner. That big win a week ago, they came in confident. They got behind the 8 ball early, but they've continued to battle in this one.
Yeah, and again, I mean, they'll play at Utah Tech next week, so, you know, that's going to be a big game for them in that one. And then, of course, you talked about today West Georgia getting a 1-point win over Central Arkansas. They'll be back home on November 8th against them then. You should have to play Tarleton, but you get Southern Utah at home. If you're North Alabama, you have a really good chance of kind of riding the ship there late a couple of these games, but you still have a very tough couple of tests as well.
Kirk goes in motion, top your screen, number 13 in red with 3 touchdown catches today. Parson all day. Now he takes off, and Chris Parson leaps into the end zone for another touchdown. Chris Parson does it again. Govs go over the 50 mark as he gets another rushing touchdown. Such great patience, and then the burst and the leap at the goal line for another score.
Well, every fan wearing red, black, and white right now, his heart dropped for a second as he hopped into the air. But, man, what a play by number 3. Chris Parsons, you talked about it, wanting to get the better of an old high school rival. How about you do it? 3 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns for Chris Parsons today. That's fantastic numbers for number 3. Man, you got to enjoy what you see when Chris Parsons steps on the field, and when he's at his best, there is not a better quarterback anywhere than this guy right here.
Big time finish to that run with the leap. And the Govs hit the 56-point mark, which equals their season high that they got on this field in the home opener against Morehead State. Just what the doctor ordered. This looked like a team tonight, despite you can always look at things, the penalties, some issues with the defense on third down that Coach talked about. They got much better at that in the second half, but they looked like a team that had been pent up for 2 weeks, ready to hit somebody and play some football. After that loss to EKU, the bye week comes when you're ready to wash that game, flush it out of the memory, but they had to live with it for 2 weeks, and they came out tonight and took it out on the Lions. Now they've got to take this same kind of home momentum, the intensity that they play with here in the home stadium. They got to figure out a way to win a road game.
That's true. And Barry, you got to think, right? For 2 weeks, you're getting told every single day, you lost that game.
Yeah.
You could have won that game. How'd you lose that game? From everybody on campus, all your friends, everybody that's a Govs fan, your coaching staff, all for 2 weeks is just giving you the business on how you could have won that game. A lot of teams, when they come out of a break like that, if they're a good team, they come out fired out, ready to win, and that's what we've seen from Austin Peay tonight. There's been some struggles. You mentioned the penalties. They've given up a couple of these touchdowns, but just in my mind, this has been a fantastic performance by the Governors and a really good way to rebound. Again, you're still ranked in the top 25 in the country. This win right here, it's not one of those wins you're expected to win this game, right? But to win it multi-score game like this is what you want on your resume as you get later and later into the season.
Yeah, definitely a great bounce back. Govs were 18.5-point favorites in this one on homecoming. They have bested that number, equaled their season high output in points. This one airmailed. There he is, Smith after the tip drill. He's got it. Montrez another pick. And Montrez still on his feet. Will they get him down? They finally will at the 10-yard line. There's your UAC Defensive Player of the Week right there, folks.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of red on this week for certain on the UAC board for Players of the Week. Take your pick. Parsons, Shamar Kirk had a Randy Moss catch and a Randy Moss day, 3 catches, 132 yards, 3 touchdowns. But Smith, man, this has been just a clinic of how to play that linebacker kind of safety position that he does. He has been fantastic tonight. 2 interceptions. He played the tip drill perfectly here. And now if you're Austin Peay, it's 2:23. You really can't knee this one out, unless you want to knee it to bring in the field goal unit. But, man, you have done a fantastic job all the way around if you're Austin Peay. This has been a great performance by the Governors.
So after that turnover, deep in UNA territory again are the Govs. We'll see what they decide to do here. They'll keep it on the ground as we expected. That's Richardson with the carry. UNA does have the 1 timeout, but I think at this point, Coach Dearman content to let this one run out as well. We're going to hit our 2-minute timeout as Austin Peay trying to put a bow on a homecoming victory. When we come back, they lead it big, 56-28 here on ESPN+. Final 2 minutes from Forterra Stadium on homecoming day. This game winding down as Austin Peay trying to stay unbeaten. You see what's coming up for the Lions. They'll head out to Utah as well. Govs are heading there next week. Lions face Utah Tech. They have that trip to Tarleton State as well, and a couple of home games, West Georgia, Southern Utah, to wrap up their season down in Florence. Final year of their stadium, Brawley Stadium. 77 years of football memories there for that great Division II power. These UNA Lions. Govs keep it on the ground to Richardson again. Here's where you just want to get out of this final 2 minutes without anybody getting hurt or any more penalties.
Yeah, and we got a stoppage here because I think there might have been an inadvertent whistle there. Ball looked like it was out of the hands of the Austin Peay running back, but it was an inadvertent whistle, and they never saw there was no possession that changed or no.
The ruling on the field is that the runner was down before the ball came out.
I believe he meant third down. He gave us the peace sign. I think he meant third down. Well, if you're Austin Peay, you want this clock to start, the play clock starting, but the game clock hasn't started yet.
Clock should wind. Here he goes, yeah. That's the most important thing at this point, is seeing that clock hit zeros. On third down.
The ruling on the field that the runner is down is under further review.
Okay, so they're going to review it. I think Coach Dearman, he was in the ear of that official saying, play it out, guys. We're playing it right to zeros. You guys play it out as well. So they're going to review it. In this 56-28 game, here's a look at it again.
It looks like it's out, Barry. It's over here. That's where the ball is, if you can see it on the right side between some legs there. But it looked like he might have actually had that jarred loose. Looked like number 17.
Yeah, that's
right?
Burkhalter.
Burkhalter, who already had a really good forced fumble earlier, may have forced another one. I mean, the angle that we just saw, it looked like the running back was still on his feet, and then you can see the ball get away from him. That's the case. I mean, still it's a minute 36. You know, if you're North Alabama, you're going to put together your 2-minute drive here. Austin Peay's defense has done a fantastic job. They've forced back-to-back interceptions, right? I mean, they're kind of chomping at the bit. If they have to go back out there, it's kind of like one of those moments where, you know, as a younger guy or younger brother, you know, you're picking and somebody kind of pushes you, and then your big brother has to come back out. They're like, I've already taken care of this. What's going on? That's how the defense is going to feel here. They have to come back out one more time.
Well, you might have Montrez Smith go for the hat trick. If he gets a third pick.
He might as well. At this point, we might want to tell Kendra, see if she can't get Montrez with him as well. She's looking to get some post-game interviews. She might need to bring over 31.
A lot of heroes in this one for Austin Peay. We're going to be back here with you at the Fort in 2 weeks. Central Arkansas comes in. Regardless of the records, these two programs don't like each other. We talked about that with former Gov Mike DeLillo today. He couldn't pick them. They had to pick them games, and there's just some bad blood between those two teams. Austin Peay beat Central Arkansas to win the UAC crown here 2 years ago. They'll make their return to the Fort in 2 weeks. We'll have it for you, another 3 o'clock kickoff. We'll hope we have some cloud cover so we can see the field again, as the sun was not beating down on us today.
At least the field will be green, Barry. You don't have to worry about
That's right.
purple and gray stripes the whole way through.
After review, the ball came loose prior to the knee down on the runner with a recovery by North Alabama. It'll be North Alabama's ball, 1st and 10 at the 9-yard line. Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 1 minute and 55 seconds.
Wow, okay, so.
Thank you.
Well, I mean, this crew, when you have a score this lopsided, you want to play on and get out of here, but they've done it by the book today. There have been a lot of penalties, 17 in fact, 12 on Austin Peay, but when we went back and looked, they've got things right. So Chris Bryson and his crew have done a good job, and Coach Dearman wanted to give his defense credit. Can't blame him. They got the call right, the turnover, and they've got a long way to go with 1:55 to play and one timeout. Goes back to the Lions offense. They're inside their own 10 after recovering that fumble that Christian Burkhalter. He got the strip sack earlier, knocked the ball free from Parson for a turnover. And the Lions are on the ground with Javian Allen. Juice keeps hammering away. Running the football. Wade's the top rusher today, the quarterback, but not the 109-yard performance like he had a week ago. He's earned all 60 of those yards. 31 coming on a touchdown run for Wade earlier. He's thrown the 3 picks today, his first 3 interceptions of the season. Parson has been clean from an interception standpoint. He's thrown 3 touchdowns, all 3 to Shamar Kirk. Did get that ball knocked free on a sack for a turnover. As the clock ticks down, and another run for Allen. And the Lions are going to fall to 2-6 and 1-3 in conference play. Austin Peay's going to see their mark improve to 5-3, 3-2 in league play, and they're going to stay unbeaten here at home this season. Go to 4-0 with 2 more home dates. The Central Arkansas game in 2 weeks, and it's back-to-back. Samford will come in on the 15th of November. On a 3rd and 5, letting the play clock run down. Back on the ground, Allen up to the 20. Sticks will move, we get the first down. Once they get the sticks in place, that should about do it for this one.
Well, Barry, let the homecoming celebration commence for Austin Peay. They pick up a big one here, a monumental bounce back, right? And not only did they just come back and win this game, they survived a late comeback from North Alabama, but most importantly, they win this one big, 56-28. I mean, a fantastic job by the Governors here after that loss in Richmond. Again,
this is the
ranked
end of
in
the
the
game.
top 25. This win here only pushes you a little bit further.
Govs get the big win, 56-28. As the head coaches will meet, the fireworks get started. Jeff Ferris, Brent Dearman, they'll meet again. Brent's building that program in Florence. A lot of tradition there with that program. We're going to have some players of the game coming up as well. Govs 577 yards of offense today, and a lot of heroes in those red jerseys. And we're going to send it down now with a couple of those heroes with Kendra.
What a performance by Austin Peay. I have Chris Parson here on my right. I have Shamar Kirk on my left. I'll start with you, Chris, because you've been game planning for UNA, specifically for Dustin Wade, going up against your former rival. How did you get this one done tonight?
I think it just came down to executing, just playing at a high level, playing to our standard. We left a lot of points out there. You know, we didn't play a perfect game, and there's a lot of room for improvement, but we made plays when we needed to, and we found a way to win. So proud of the team. You know, we still got a long ways to go, got a lot of stuff we need to clean up, but it's always a blessing to get a win at home. So, yes, ma'am.
Shamar, 3 touchdowns on the day. We'll start with the one in the third quarter because that was an insane catch between 2 UNA defenders. How did you haul that one in?
First, man, just giving all glory to God, but I actually practice that a lot in practice. All the time, I'm not actually catching them in practice, but I actually watched the clip this before the game, and you know, I'm grateful that God put me in that position to, you know, show that I can make that play, because I'm always hard on myself when I don't make the play in practice, but I'm thankful that He put me in a position to make it. Yes, ma'am.
You also had a 79-yard touchdown as well. What did you see on that one? Because you turned on the Jets as soon as you caught that one.
Well, all week we knew it would be open. So when Coach called it, I was like, okay, yeah, this might be one. I just ran my route, and the guy right here threw a perfect pass, and we got it.
Chris, you give the athletic trainers and the fans a scare every time you do a leap like that into the end zone, but you yourself had 3 rushing scores. What did you see on those, and why is it so important for you to push that one in?
Yes, ma'am. Just trying to make plays, and by any means necessary. Whatever I got to do to help my team be successful. Coach Billman did a great job of getting me prepared throughout the week, and I was just going through my reads and just trying to find a way to best help the team. So, you know, I got to be smart, got to take care of my body, but at the same time, you know, I'm a competitor and I want to find ways to win. So, yes, ma'am.
This offense put up over 50 points, but of course you get a boost from your defense. Montrez Smith with 2 picks. How do you evaluate the defense helping you guys out and making those big-time plays?
Yes, ma'am. Well, defense wins championships, and so they did a great job of getting some turnovers for us. You know, I hate that I ended up turning the ball over and giving, you know, the other team good field position, but our defense stepped up big and they had our backs because, you know, like I said, like we didn't play a great game offensively, and so the defense, they just, you know, they held it down for us, and, you know, we just found a way at certain times of the game to play complementary football, and, you know, with that, we were able to win the game, so that's all that matters at the end, so, yes, ma'am.
You guys are both new to the program this year, but you wouldn't know it by the chemistry you two have developed. I know that starts in the summer, but how did you find that extra edge to be able to connect so many times with each other?
This is my brother, you know, this is my brother, man. Like, you know, we put in work together. You know, we showing up early, 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, throughout the week during practice and things like that. And so there's a certain level of trust and a certain level of chemistry that we have. And, you know, it's a great thing to have, you know, with my brother and my teammate. And so we're going to find ways to keep getting better and keep scoring touchdowns. And so, but I got all the confidence in the world in this guy, man. He makes my job easy, and it's a blessing to have him as a teammate.
And, I mean, when you hear that from your QB, what is it like to have a guy like Chris Parson throwing you the ball like that?
It's very special. I'm thankful. You know, I didn't always have that when I was in high school or, you know, coming up, so I'm very thankful to have him. And actually having him to trust me like that, that's a big deal. Yes, ma'am.
Lastly for you, I mean, 3 touchdowns, but you also got engaged this week. I mean, what a crazy 7 days for you. How would you describe the week through your lens?
Man, it's very special. All week these guys been like, oh, like he's running different, like he's engaged, man, and I'm just thankful to God that I found her. You know, it's very special. She's very special, and yeah, man, it's just all glory to God, man. It's a blessing. It's a blessing.
Well, I won't keep you guys any longer. Go celebrate with the team. Congratulations on the huge win today.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Guys, back up to you.
All right, great job today, Kendra. Great having you with us today as you finally got to see an Austin Peay victory after a couple of losses on the road. As Coach Ferris, you're back in good graces with him. What a performance today. You saw Chris Parson there. He had 6 touchdowns, 3 on the ground, 3 in the air. Jamar Kirk caught 3 of them. Montrez Smith, what a day. 12 tackles, couple of picks late, and Austin Peay gets the huge victory tonight, rolling over North Alabama. So that'll wrap things up for this homecoming. Austin Peay wins it big, 56-28. For Ethan Schmidt, I'm Barry Greshman, our entire crew. We thank you for joining us today. All games airing on the ESPN networks are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN.